for his steaks. Literally, eats raw. Can I get it well done? Dude, we're at
you
Ruth
dumb.
Chris.
Oh,
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, he can't be on the podcast.
Can I get ketchup? Bro, you
At Ruth
cannot
Chris?
Nothing
do
screams
that.
white trash like ketchup.
All right, guys.
Right.
We live? Bing.
Yeah, so you get the notification. It's
Hey,
very
Paco. So we were just talking about this. If you are listening, you can hit the subscribe button, and it'll give you an alert.
On YouTube, then click the bell. And
Click
it'll give
the
you
bell.
updates that say, here you go, going live.
It's
But I-
pretty easy.
I appreciate you listening, brother. Love you.
What is this? Hold on, I just got a pop-up. Technical difficulties.
Dude, you know
All right.
Norton antivirus?
All right, so, I mean, we've been live for a few seconds, but technically, welcome back to the
We Got Five on It
podcast. This is officially our 4th episode. Some housekeeping things. We are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as Google Play for you Android knuckleheads.
Losers.
Yeah. We're going to continue to be going live on YouTube
I
every
sent that
Tuesday
link
night.
to one person.
I know. We all know the people where
Yeah.
the text messages turn green.
Oh, I hate them.
Same people that have Snapchats that look like
Yeah.
they were filmed with a potato.
Yeah. We're still active on Instagram, working on getting more active. As always, the more interaction is good. And then on Twitter, we were just talking about, we know Twitter's kind of a dying breed, but we do have it because we're just those guys.
That's right.
Now, I do want to
Share the wealth.
I do want to throw in one thing. If you guys could post on your story on Instagram, whether it's the Spotify link or the Apple Podcast link to show that you're listening and other people can watch it, that's huge. I'm going to do that this week. Rybo, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
going to do
definitely
that.
do that.
Yeah, just kind of get the message out there a
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah.
I'll put it all over my MySpace.
Nice.
Yeah, any type of sharing like that, rate, subscribe, review, all that stuff's really important. So one day we can have a studio and we don't have to come to you live from a bar, but we still might do that. Maybe
I like the bar.
Even
I do
better,
like
we
the
go
bar.
on a live bar tour around
yeah.
the country
There we go.
in an RV.
I like that.
Yes, a
I
blue
like
RV.
that.
That's kind of our color. I can see it now, boys.
Winnebago, old.
Yes,
Old school. I like it.
that'd be dope. Old school on the outside, but chassis, everything else, new school.
It's going to look like Drake's new plane on the inside.
Yeah.
You fucking see that thing?
We're gonna put an owl on the outside just to mock
Yes.
him,
Yes.
because we're wiser than Champagne.
That was my
Poppy.
spirit animal.
I do like Drake, though.
Oh yeah, he's good.
I was a horse. I didn't get that. I'm not free-spirited at all. I'm curmudgeon. I'm just not a pleasant person to be around normally.
Okay, so we are live on all those things, which is great. We go live on Tuesday nights. We post the episode sometime on Wednesday. And yeah, download that. Give us your feedback. One way that we're thinking about growing it is bringing on a 4th guest every so often. Next week, we might have a guest lined up. Our people are talking to his or her people, and we'll go from there.
You reached out.
Yes, yeah. He's flying in.
I think we need to address something before this even starts.
Let him have it. Let it rain. Dracaris. Let it rain down.
One of us lesser men have dropped out of the non-drinking to make all of my friends,
Tybo,
besides
come on.
one, I have one left. UB, I'm so proud of you.
UB has lost 12 pounds in 14 days
Dude, that's
since stopping
insane.
drinking. 12
How
pounds
proud.
in 14 days.
Love them, UB. Stay strong, buddy.
See, for me, I wasn't losing any pounds, so I'm like, screw this. Yes, it is me. It is I,
Yes.
Rybo. I came back on the wagon, or however the hell you say that. In return, I have to run 10 miles a week, and I'm not proud of it. I had no social life, and that just sounds like an excuse because it is one. But this beer tastes great. I've
I'm
done
sure it does.
7 miles since yesterday, mainly because I'm just pissed at myself. I want to knock them out.
Can I ask, what was the timing like? Did you do your 1.5 and then 3 and all in the same sitting, or how'd you do that?
No, so
Worked out.
Yeah, so what I did, the other day I did 2 miles
it
as
was
a
like 2,
warm up.
yeah.
And then today I got in there, I did 3.5, and then I did a couple leg lifts, and then I went back and ran
another.
mile and a half.
Doesn't change the fact that you're
Drinking beer.
Just-
I
Hey,
own
Cameron,
On air,
I'm going to stay out of this personally. You can eviscerate him if you want. You can say
On
whatever
it.
you
And
air.
you have every reason to.
on air. You just have to say, "I'm a pussy. I bowed out."
I'm a pussy, I bowed out, but
Thank
my
you.
beer tastes great.
Yeah. Okay.
On a Friday night,
What are you going to
buddies
do?
are out, and I'm just sitting at home. I can't do that.
No.
I like being around people.
Same.
It's brutal. But anyways, I'll own that till the day I die.
Yeah.
Like I said, not
I'm going to
proud of
make it out there, folks. Don't you worry.
Cam is definitely stronger than
Rybo tried to talk me into it. He's like, dude, just do
run.
the 10 miles. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the 10 miles and I'm not going to drink.
Here's the sad thing is I would run 20 miles to be able to drink. That's the God honest truth.
At this point for me, it never really crossed my mind to quit. Never did. Ever. I was on the golf course when you text me that. And I was just like, I
could tell you were upset.
No, I wasn't upset at all. I
You
don't
gave
care.
like that dad disappointed text, do whatever you want to do, man.
No, I said,
was
do
like,
you,
oh,
man.
That's the worst.
Yeah. No, I wasn't it wasn't expected for sure. I thought you had it in you. But also,
I thought so too.
also, I would not be able to live with myself. I'm just one of those people, and I get it. I'm an outlier. I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
'Cause I personally didn't give a shit.
I still have my one day. I got my one day to drink. I might use it. I might not. I don't know. We'll see.
Might as well.
We'll see.
Okay.
I might use it next week. We'll see.
There you go.
Well, should we jump into it, gentlemen?
Yeah, so
Yes. Topic.
this week's topic is our top 5 personally most hated athletes.
Personal.
When you
Personally
guys
most hated
posted
athletes.
the Instagram thing, everybody started texting me like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, these aren't the most hated for worldwide. This is your own personal.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. A lot of them were OJ, and I was like, okay, you can hate OJ.
don't
Everybody
give
hates OJ, but I don't give a shit.
I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
We all know what happened. It's old
Yeah,
news.
he's innocent.
This is also
Of
the
course.
this,
Glove don't fit. You must have quit.
this is the first time that we have none of the same guys.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
like that.
0, which is
Yeah.
fun. So
I like that.
Tybo, you're gonna lead it off.
Yeah. All right. So before I get into my top 5, my sponsor is Jared Jewelers. Fuck around with your cock, just buy her a rock.
There you go.
And if you put in the code Colorado, you will get a 20% discount. And
Or you might not. It might be already expired.
It probably is past the statute of limit, or it's past the coupon expiration date. But
Yeah, you got that from one of those sketchy coupon sites, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's called. Nah, I'm not gonna go there. But anyways, that'll make more sense as I round out my top 5.
I know where that went. I get it.
So my number 5 is, again, these are all personal, and I'm gonna combine this one. It's Kawhi Leonard and Zaza Pachulia.
Oh God, I'm so surprised you don't like Kawhi.
The thing is I do like him, but I hate what he did to the Spurs, which makes me hate him. I've got, like, when he hit that Game 7,
Okay, we'll go back into that.
yes, but when he hit the
They
Game
did
7
him
winner,
too.
I don't know how they did him wrong, but I could talk all day about that, man. If you want to go there. Number 4, one that many viewers or listeners may not know right off the bat, but a former pitcher, because he died, Yordano Ventura, former pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, looked just like me, maybe even a little skinnier, believe it or not.
You
but-
guys look nothing alike.
No, I'm talking frame.
Oh,
Even
you
on
guys
my
are built the same.
built the same.
He's
even
like
on
a
my best tanning
black
day.
guy.
Yeah. No, he's black. Well, Dominican.
I can see it.
But Yordano Ventura, grade A cocksucker. Fuck that guy. I don't care if you're dead. Sorry.
Nice.
Number 3,
Strong.
Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
I
Can't
don't
argue with
feel
that.
like
He's a fuck bag.
I don't
I
feel
don't
like
think you're gonna
me-
get anyone to argue
Yeah, I
against
don't
that
think
one.
anyone's on Team Reed right
For
now.
non-golfers, he's a golfer.
Other than his fucking Mr. Ed horse wife. Number 2,
nice.
Brett Favre.
Yeah. Great.
Cocksucker, cock picture sender. Fuck Brett Favre. I can't stand that
Wrangler
guy.
jeans.
Wrangler jeans. I got nothing against Wrangler, personally. And my number 1, so don't forget to use the discount code Colorado, Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
Kobe
Oh.
Bean Bryant.
Can everyone see my shirt?
And we could talk about that one all night.
Yeah, that's. We'll get back into
If
that
you
one.
want.
We'll get back into
So
that.
I
my
can't wait to get
my
back
5, Kawhi and Zaza, because they both equally ruined the Spurs for probably the next 6-7 years. Yordano Ventura, headhunter, cocksucker. Patrick Reed, douchebag. Brett Favre, dick pic sending, making Aaron Rodgers sit on the bench, douche. And Kobe. I don't even need to say anything about
All
Kobe.
right.
Just so people know, when I'm on my
Kobe.
phone, I'm looking up something. I'm not like
Kobe.
texting or.
Okay, so
Those are my 5.
I have a couple honorables that we'll get back into
can I-
later. We'll
okay,
do them
I
later.
got
We'll do
some
them later because I have a
honorables,
good story about one of my honorable. I don't really hate him as much, but I do hate him. Okay, so number 5, I combined 2 because they're basically the same person. Jay Cutler and Phillip Rivers. Equally whiny, equally shitty, equally can't win games. Whatever you want to say about them. The list goes on and on for those 2 cocksuckers. Number 4, actually, I also picked a golfer. If you don't know him, Sergio Garcia, one of the biggest whiny fucks there is on tour.
The biggest.
Just a big time bitch.
I don't think anyone's gonna argue that one either.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's a
Number
good pick.
3, the crybaby himself, Tim Tebow.
I love this one.
Yeah, Tim Tebow. Can't trust a guy who doesn't drink and doesn't do drugs.
You just chastised me for getting back into drinking. So how's that work?
1 month off.
But you
1
were
month
do-
off he can do, but that guy's doing some things behind.
We'll get into that one.
Did we say no meth? Did you kick the habit?
Yeah, he's a little too squeaky clean for me. Most of the time, those guys are out there banging kids.
Sus.
Number 2.
He's not Catholic.
Number 2, Floyd Money Mayweather. Just a real pile, man.
Real piece of shit.
I like a confident guy. I even like a cocky guy, but I don't like stupid people. And he really wraps that up into he's just a.
I know where you're going with that. So
He
I'll
is
leave it.
outright racist, and it's okay for him to be for some reason. Just not okay with that. And oh, dude, I didn't do my sponsor. Let me go back. I'm gonna do my sponsor. This week is Law Enforcement Week, and I'd like to thank all the police officers and everybody out there putting their lives on the line daily for us. Number 1,
Love it.
the biggest pile of shit, Colin Kaepernick.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to talk about that.
Colin
gonna be a
Kaepernick.
good one. It's gonna be
I'm so glad he doesn't have a job. I'm so glad that everything that happened to him happened to him. Another thing, thanks for ruining Nike for me.
Really?
Thank you.
You're that shallow?
I will not buy another Nike thing. I don't think that Nike should get involved in things like that. I think that Nike should stay out of things like that and just make great shoes because they have the best shoes on the planet and some of the best clothes on the planet. I will not wear them.
Oh, I'm sure they're really going to miss your business.
I'm just saying. I'll take a personal stance, and I'll die on that hill without Nikes on my feet. Number 1, Colin Kaepernick.
I have a feeling we might spend like a total of 5 minutes on like Kobe, Kawhi,
Kaepernick's going
and
to
an
get
hour
wild.
45 on Cap.
Yeah, we got to manage that, but yes.
Which I'm
yes.
okay with. Hey,
I'm okay with
we-
it.
We
It
can
goes,
do that.
it goes where
Yeah.
it goes. All right. My list is brought to you by Clorox, specifically their bathroom line of products. Make sure that we keep all bathrooms squeaky clean.
There you go.
Okay.
Clean enough to eat off of, and I'm not talking about food.
Well, you know where I'm going with that. So, number 5, Reggie Miller of the Indiana Pacers.
I don't agree with this, but it's
I
personal.
don't either.
Perfect.
It's personal.
That's why we're all individuals, guys. This is America, thanks to guys not like Kaepernick. Number 4, Barry Bonds.
Never got caught.
Here's another hit, Barry Bonds.
Not arguing that. Number 3, old man, delusional, wheelchair, bitch ass Paul Pierce.
I 1,000%
I agree.
agree with this one.
Okay, we'll go back into it, but I feel like he's gotten even worse now
That's
than
one
when
of
he
my
was playing.
That's
Yes.
one of my big points.
He, and he
is-
was pretty bad when he was playing.
So, yeah, I hated him when he was playing, partly because he's on the Celtics, but if I look at it fairly, that's not the reason why I hate him. I hate him for a lot of reasons, but like you said, usually like once a player retires, they become more likable.
Yeah.
The next guy on my list is an example of that. Paul Pierce has become less likable, less credible, more of a dick, like he's just dumb.
How about when Boston won Game 1?
It's over.
Okay, it's over.
Well,
It's over.
he wasn't wrong. It
Yeah,
was over.
It was
It
over.
was over
Yeah,
for Boston.
on the wrong end.
It was over.
That guy is the definition of a clown.
Yes.
And it just, after seeing him after he retired, it makes the wheelchair incident even worse to me because,
Oh,
come on.
That.
Come
yes. I could. Yes.
Number 2, A-Rod. I hate A-Rod with a passion. I will say, to his credit, I like him a little bit more than I did when he played.
That's what I was gonna say when you were doing Paul Pierce. I was like, A-Rod kind of turned into a decent announcer.
And I want to dive into that a little bit, but we'll get into it. Number one, I'm not even going to give him his nickname. I'm just going to say Ben Roethlisberger. I hate Ben Roethlisberger.
Number one all time. That's the crazy part
That's
to
what.
me.
Yes.
That was a very surprising pick.
Yeah,
For me.
all time.
Okay, so initially I had A-Rod, but A-Rod eventually admitted to what he's done, and it took him 2 tries to get there. Both my top 2 are 2-time offenders. Big Ben with sexual assault, A-Rod with steroids. A-Rod didn't admit to it the first time. Second time around, basically said, "Hey, I handled that wrong. I did do this. I think he's done a great job since retiring. I still hate him just because."
I got some pushback on that, but okay.
Well, yeah, we can get into it.
Yeah.
Big Ben is just the biggest piece of shit, I think, on the planet.
I think he's a gosh damn winner.
Okay, so
So is Floyd Mayweather.
That's true.
I want to ask one question before we go too deep into all this. Can you hate someone but still respect them?
Yes.
That's the only way.
I
That
think
is
you-
the
I
only.
think you
okay,
can.
okay,
Yeah.
you can. That is the only way that Tybo can pick Kobe.
Exactly. Because I've been not on the record on this podcast, but with both of you guys, I respect the shit out of Kobe.
Yeah, his work ethic,
I appreciate
His-
all of that.
I mean, I
I
respect.
could still hate the guy.
I respect all the guys on my list.
I respect-
not
I
don't.
completely,
Yeah.
but
Not all the guys on my
but
list.
like
I respect.
in some arena or another, I respect them.
Yeah.
Like I respect Ben Roethlisberger's eliteness as a quarterback. Everything else, I think he's the biggest.
Barry Bonds
piece
still
of
has
shit.
to hit the ball.
Yeah,
As
and-
juice as he get, he still has to hit the ball.
And against juiced ass Eric Gagne.
That's
Well,
what I'm
I
saying.
think
still gotta-
I think my big thing with Barry Bonds is he could have been great if he didn't juice. He was great before he juiced.
He was.
and
He
so
was.
But his hat wouldn't have been as big.
well, okay, so he wouldn't have as many home runs, wouldn't have as many RBIs.
Wasn't
but
he
the guy,
hitting jacks when he was little?
yeah,
Yes.
but not
Like,
not
was 40,
70, but he was hitting like 30, 40,
40. He was 40-40 club.
and he
wasn't
was stealing
And he was
bases.
160 pounds.
And he'd hit like 330. So my whole thing is, why not continue to do that? Yeah, maybe your name isn't in as many record books, but really, what does that matter if you're like well liked? The guy came from a baseball family. His dad, Bobby Bonds. His fucking granddad is Willie Mays. Like you could
Willie Mays Hayes?
Willie Mays Hayes, man.
Wait.
No, not
Really?
Willie Mays Hayes. But he could have been a very well liked guy up even to today, been on whatever show he wanted, and still had a phenomenal. He could have been a Hall of Famer without juicing. I understand that there's like some pressures when you see all the other guys doing
That's
it.
what I was just gonna say.
Roger Clemens is
But-
throwing 150 mile an hour fastball.
But when he was playing, everyone was doing it.
But he was good before, and that's the part that pisses me off. Like, if he just made a decision like, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm still fucking great, he would have been looked at by so many more people as much greater and by much more people as likable.
What percentage of baseball players do you think don't take some sort of performance enhancing drug?
I mean, what's the definition of that?
Yeah,
what-
that's very
anything
broad.
anything that would
Nothing.
be anything that would be knocked as illegal.
So they're drinking water and eating hot dogs, and
no,
that's it.
anything that would be knocked as illegal.
I think that
What about Adderall? If they're prescribed,
Okay.
it's prescribed.
What about weed?
Well, okay.
Weed's legal in Major League Baseball.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The only way you can have this conversation
Good for
is
them.
what is legal in each
Minors
sport.
is not, but majors
Oh,
is.
good.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
The guys
So
that are
stupid.
struggling can't even get high.
Yeah.
I would say that the MLB has done a really good job. One of the few things they've done a good job of cleaning the game up. There's still, I mean, you still see suspensions happening, but where it was 90% at one time, I think it's probably more like 10% now.
You
Because
think
that-
only 10% now?
as
If
far as
that-
illegal things,
I think I don't even know if it's that high.
yeah, it might be
Really?
because they're so scared. It's an 80
Baseball
game
has
suspension.
a very strict
But
first
doesn't
off
only
suspension rule.
Isn't it like
but
one of them?
They're one of the
one of guy on a team gets tested like fucking once a month. It's
I don't-
pretty. It's pretty.
I
it's pretty.
think it's more.
Is it more
active than
frequent?
that, Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like NFL. It's very like I mean, Eric Reed, who is kind of like Kaepernick, who made his way back in the league. He got tested his first 6 weeks back in.
Yeah.
No
Okay, that
one
makes
gets
sense.
tested that often.
Yeah, that makes
no
sense.
one does.
Yeah.
I
But-
think in baseball, I think I have this right. If you get caught your third time, it's a lifetime ban.
Yes, you're
yeah,
done.
yeah.
You're done.
And so those guys, I mean, 80 games without pay. I
What
mean,
about
that's
A-Rod?
That's a big
Think
hit.
A-Rod would have been just as good without
Yeah, and that's another one that bothers me because he
Because
was
he was that good.
he was a 30-30 guy, and
Yeah.
he was great.
Wasn't he like the freak of all freaks coming out? Like they thought he was
Yeah.
going to be the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
this.
high school phenom coming out of
Prodigy.
Florida. Yeah,
He was a Gatorade Player of the Year,
yeah.
which is crazy when you
Yeah.
think about it. And
That just goes to show you, even at that level, you're going to take an edge if you can. Because, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing with A-Rod and Bonds, the thing I always say is if you're in AAA and you're watching these guys pass you up day after day after day, and you know those guys are juicing, and you want to be the guy that doesn't drink beer for a month, like, fuck that, I'm sticking to my shit. Like, and these guys keep getting paid, they're going over you and over you. At what point do you just go, you know what, fuck that?
that's what I was going to say. If money
What's-
was involved in this, if like
And-
money and contracts was involved in my not drinking, I'd have been drinking on the side all
And
day.
and
this
I've
whole
got
time.
and I've got an example for that. Melky Cabrera was an average to above average player, gets popped for roids after he signed like a 4-year, $100 million deal. Okay, who gives a fuck? I got my money,
That's guaranteed money.
guaranteed money.
Even if you.
baseball's
Doesn't matter.
No, I know it's guaranteed,
He
but
didn't-
even if steroids are involved?
He didn't
Oh,
get
no.
He did not get popped. So he signed a deal, and then once he signed that deal that year, he got popped.
But he
So
doesn't
they
get
can't-
paid for the games that he's suspended. But
For sure.
But that contract is still in place when he comes
Still
back.
valid.
Does
Oh,
that
so
make
if he
sense?
gets like a 60-game ban, he doesn't get paid for 60 games, but he comes
he-
back and he's already
it's the
making
same
he's making $1
contract.
million a game
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And see, guys like that don't piss me off as much. Like I can think, okay, I get that. But when you're Barry Bonds, A-Rod, those guys aren't spending much time in the minor leagues, and they're great before they started juicing. I just wish, but I mean, I do get it. But I think Barry Bonds is a shitty person outside of steroid use.
That's the thing.
And-
That's where my
don't know
disdain
that
comes
much
from.
about
And what I hate about A-Rod is that the way he went about it, he's just a slimy guy.
He is.
He's the
And he's
new
done
he's
a-
Jose Canseco now.
Right. He's a better looking Jose Canseco that can speak a little bit better. And he's done a better job of de-sliming himself, but he's just a slimy dude. And if he came out and he's like, yep, I did this, and he came back to the game and he only hit 250, I'd like him a lot more. Because I get it. If it's rampant throughout the game,
But he never got caught, right? Oh, A-Rod,
A-Rod got caught
no,
twice.
No, not, I'm talking about Bonds.
no,
Nope.
but come on.
No, okay, but
We,
Yes.
that
I get your point. But
does he? I mean, is he a Hall of Famer already?
No.
No.
And
He won't
No,
get.
no,
he
no.
won't get in
No, I don't think so. I
No.
think he has like 2 years
from
left of eligibility.
just based on, not. I mean, okay, everybody knows, but still didn't get caught.
Clemens never got caught.
OJ never got caught.
Did Clemens get caught? Or am
I mean, a lot of
speaking
no,
turn?
Clemens
I
was-
don't think so.
I don't think
Clemens was
got
the guy
caught.
that was on talking before Congress, right, or talking before somebody.
No, that was
Palmeiro.
Rafael Palmeiro, Sosa, McGuire.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
I mean,
McGuire.
Canseco.
a lot of those guys didn't get caught, right? They got out of it at the right time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, common sense prevails.
What if they made it legal for everybody? Would you not like baseball as much?
No, I think that, and by the way, I think those guys should be in the Hall of Fame, and we can talk about that. As long as it's fair across the board.
Would it?
I'm okay with
Would
that.
it lessen your idea of what the MLB was if they just said,
I
"You
think-
guys want to get fucking jacked and die at 50? Do your thing."
I
Yes.
think every
You wouldn't care, or you wouldn't like it.
I wouldn't like it, but I'd be more okay with it being an even playing field with everyone, as opposed to like some guys doing it, some guys not.
Can I take that? Why would that bother you? If
Because
because
so
of the some guys take it, some guys don't,
well,
I don't
no,
think anybody
no,
would
like
not
if,
take
or
it.
is it more the guys you're
if
gonna die
everyone,
at 50?
if everyone started juicing, right? I think. Okay, so I think that there's a couple things. To me, I grew up playing baseball. It's my favorite sport.
One of your
not-
favorite players is David Eckstein.
Yes, not necessarily to watch. It's actually probably my third favorite sport to watch. But it's just as far as the sport, it's my favorite. And one of the big reasons why is, to me, I think it's a thinking man's game.
It is.
A lot more than most people realize. So when you put in like football like physicality into it, and it just becomes more about who has bigger biceps and not as big of a brain, I don't like that a
But
little
you
bit.
still have to hit the ball.
Absolutely, and they scientifically proved that that's the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit
Yeah,
a 95
sure.
mile an hour fastball. Not to mention all the off-speed shit.
Yes.
I think the part that I have the most issue with is any major sport to me has a responsibility to youth.
I could see
And we all know that steroids are not healthy. In the long term, they are not good
that. Depends
for
on
you.
what you're taking.
So what message are you sending? Like, hey,
Get jacked, bro.
destroy your body. Let's just say you have a responsibility to me as in my mind, as a person, to guide that kid in the right direction.
So Kobe
morally
can't be a
and
mentor.
integrity. Probably not in intimate relationships, but ball handling, yes.
Wouldn't even crack my top 25 greatest ball handlers of all
No,
time.
I know. We'll get into that.
25
Don't worry.
maybe.
But do you understand what I'm
25?
saying?
No.
I prefer if they didn't.
Yeah.
Also,
okay. No, that was just a question. I'm not a big baseball guy. That's
Yeah.
why I think for me, watching baseball, I want to see home runs.
There's a
Because
reason.
I'm an outside looking in type of guy.
And I
go,
get that. I get that
All I
part
want
of
to
it
see.
too.
I remember being a kid when the race was going on, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
And my family didn't watch baseball. We watched games then. We were like, oh, who's going to do it? You know, they're going back and forth. You know, they're hitting bombs. This guy hit a bomb, and then it was back and forth. Even people that didn't watch baseball could get involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still remember where I was when McGuire won that summer race.
on
you
that.
know,
He
September
doesn't.
8th.
He doesn't hit that home run if he's not juiced.
He doesn't.
That little piss rocket that barely screamed over the left field fence.
And Bush. But I do think those guys should be in the Hall of Fame too, because look, there's technology differences that happen in the game, just like there's a live ball era, right? There's pre-live ball, post-live ball. I think that there should be a steroid era because
Yeah.
you look at what the Hall of Fame is meant for, and it's meant to celebrate the greatest players in their time, and it is what it is. Like,
Well, I got some. I mean, Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose was going to be the next guy I brought up. Shoeless Joe. You don't think guys were in the mob in 1919, 1920 and
Had
they're
to be.
fucking throwing games?
They had to be.
Of course they are. That's part of the
In 1919,
era.
when they were not making any money, and they go, I could make X amount of dollars more than I would have made today.
Now,
Sure.
but I don't think guys like. I know it sounds. Pete Rose is a tricky one because
no, it's not.
I don't think. I think it is because Pete Rose said he never bet against his team.
Pete Rose broke a rule, and so.
So did Barry Bonds.
But that hasn't been proven. And here's the tough truth that I have to realize is A-Rod should not get in, Barry Bonds should. Roger Clemens should. They didn't get caught.
On paper, he didn't get caught.
And that's a hard truth of life. But
Don't
Pete
get
Rose,
caught. Don't
Pete
get
Rose,
caught.
Pete Rose broke a rule. They did. I just saw an interview with George Brett, and they asked, "Hey, should Pete be in the Hall?" And he said, "No. If you do that, then go home and tell your kids that rules don't matter."
Yeah, I understand that.
He broke a rule.
So did. But that's so tough for me to swallow because you can't sit here and tell me the proven innocent until proven guilty rule. I do think that's one of the great things about our country. But we all fucking know what Barry Bonds did.
Oh, yeah.
We all know what Roger Clemens did.
Yeah.
We all know what Eric Gagne did. We all know what those guys did. I don't give a shit if he didn't get caught. Don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining, and then this guy gets in, but this guy just happened to get caught. I don't think that's a smart or not smart thing. I think that's you got away with it. And if you're telling me that MLB at that point in time where they were very happy that people like your parents were watching games.
Oh, yeah.
They were so happy that people were tuning in. You don't think, I mean, I remember when
Their hands are just
Bonds-
as dirty.
I agree. And you don't think that they're going to give Bonds a little leeway instead of saying, we're going to suspend the biggest thing that baseball's had possibly ever?
Also African American, at a time where that
Yeah.
was big. Him and Sosa.
Yeah, I mean,
And Griffey.
Sosa's white now, though.
I know he's scary
Dude,
looking,
that's-
dude. It's really. He looks like a.
He looks like
that
Michael
is
Jackson.
truly
albino
wild.
grizzly bear.
Truly, yeah, it's truly crazy.
I don't
But
know.
it's a
Then-
tricky one.
Then you
I don't
keep them
know.
all out, and I'm okay with
And
that too.
And that's where I'm at. Keep
You
them
know?
all out.
Nobody's
That's what
got,
we're gonna
nobody's got
do.
in.
And
right?
that's what's going to happen. They're not going to get in.
They're not. And do I think Barry Bonds should be a Hall of Famer? Of course. Of course. He was one of the, like you said, he was great before he started juicing. And guess
That's what I'm saying.
And he was juicing against guys that were
juicing.
juicing also.
Yeah.
But
was just the era.
Eric Gagne won a Cy Young as a closer, and I mean, Lord knows, but he'll never get in because everyone's kind of like, fuck Eric Gagne. He didn't matter that much.
Well,
no
back
one,
then,
no
too,
one
like,
cares
I
if
mean,
he doesn't
I'm,
make
I'm
it.
not super
He's not a
up
Hall
on
of
the
Famer
times,
anyway,
but it
though.
seems like nowadays the pitchers are not
If you look at numbers,
jacked
it
anymore.
might be close.
The pitchers are more long and lean now versus back in the day. That wasn't like a thing, right? I mean, it was maybe a little bit.
Guys are
but-
throwing. Let me put it
The
this:
game has changed
guys
a lot.
are throwing harder now than they did back then.
and they're long, they're tall, they're skinny. Chris Sale,
They
you know,
last
like guys
longer
like that.
too.
fucking 17 strikeouts today, and they don't win the game. What a fucking waste for the Red Sox. God damn it.
Or what's the guy from the Angels? He's hurt, but
Guy for the Angels?
Weaver.
No, Weaver's
Weaver's
no.
been gone.
Yeah,
Who's the tall, skinny guy for fucking?
the Angels.
Maybe I'm mistaken. Might be a different team. But you see a lot of long, lean guys now.
Yes, a lot of long
mean,
arms, a lot of
yeah.
elbows and knees. And
Yeah.
Yeah, the game has definitely changed
It
for the
has.
better, I think.
I like
as
it.
a baseball fan.
And I don't want to stick on baseball too long because I know most people don't really
Yeah.
like it. But I think that argument comes down to should everyone take steroids? Are you a purist where you appreciate the fact that guys like Dustin Pedroia, who's a horse jockey at 5'5", can win the MVP, or Eckstein can really be a catalyst for an Angels team? Or do you want to see a bunch of yoked out guys just hit bombs?
Didn't Chase Utley get popped for doing steroids or something?
No,
He's
Dan
a little-
Ugla did.
One of those
Dan
little,
Ugla.
Dan
God.
Ugla
little
did.
guys.
I remember
And
that
that
name.
guy was yoked out. Both the Boone, more Brett Boone.
I like
for
my
sure
boy. I
than
like my
Aaron
boy
Boone.
Ichiro.
Yeah,
I like Ichiro.
I love Ichiro.
Ichiro's fun. That's what Bonds could have been, but
We'll never know.
Yeah.
You want to be a walking bobblehead,
We will never know.
fucking guy.
Who do you want to jump into? I will jump into Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, both you guys don't like that pick.
I
Curious
don't like
to
that
know
pick.
why.
I think he was a great competitor. I think he's one of the best shooters of all time until, recently when these guys are fucking shooting 50% from the three-point line for the whole year and shit.
It's
They're
not
crazy.
It's
They're-
really only Clay and Steph. That's
yeah,
it.
That's true. I mean,
That's
well,
it.
I mean, there's two of them, but you got guys like Lillard pulling up from 10 feet deep and draining threes, dude. Like, that didn't happen back in the day when Reggie Miller was doing that shit. He was draining when draining wasn't like that big.
He was different.
And well, let me just ask you what you don't like about him.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It
I
can't,
want to.
it can't be a Pacers thing.
I don't know if I want to walk into that trap yet. Why don't you like the pick?
Because, well, first, he's got arguably my favorite 30 for 30.
Yeah, it was good.
It's pretty good.
When he fucked with Spike Lee.
If you want to be part of the game, I'm glad you bought all
Yeah.
these. Spent
Yeah.
all this money to be part of
Yeah.
the game. Now you're part of the
He
fucking game,
talked
bro.
shit to him the entire
The
game.
entire time.
The entire game.
Which
And
I
the-
like.
Yeah.
And then Reggie has the fortitude to back it up and
Yeah.
stare at him and say, hey,
Yeah.
dude, do you want to be part of this? You're going to be part of this. Like, you will forever be known as a guy that that's why this happened.
I put it on him because of you.
Because of
a
you.
fan.
We were dead.
Yeah.
They were dead in the water.
Yeah.
And and I love that.
Yeah, I like Reggie Miller.
So okay,
I like him. I mean,
Ultimate competitor, one of the best
Yeah.
shit talkers
yeah.
the game has ever seen.
Ugly shot too.
my response is going to be probably anticlimactic to you guys. The reason why I hate Reggie Miller is because
He's ugly.
he is an ugly dude.
He does look
Yeah.
like Mr. Potato Head.
Sam Cassell just a little bit before.
I personally don't give a shit about that though. So, as you guys know, I have been a Laker fan my whole life, even these past 6 years. R.I.P. And really, when I was like, I guess coming into my own as a Laker fan, like where you're like old enough to kind of understand.
you start
more
following
what's going
players.
on. Reggie Miller was the Joker to my Batman.
What year was that? That was the beginning of Shaq and
It
Kobe.
was like the early 2000s.
the beginning of Shaq Kobe.
It had that's the part that surprises me.
It wasn't like the
As
Gary
a Laker
Payton.
fan, I would think you'd hate Bruce Bowen or somebody way more than Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller was better.
Yeah, he was a superstar.
Sure, but Bruce Bowen was always a thorn. You would.
Yeah.
How many times you play the Pacers in the finals? That'd be the only time you'd meet him in a meaningful game.
Well, okay. Bruce Bowen,
You would face the Spurs almost every year.
Yeah.
but Bruce Bowen is a very Spur guy, right? Where he's like under the radar in a lot of ways.
Robert
Definitely,
Horry.
he's in your muck. He's
I would almost say he's anti-Spur because I think he's the only dirty Spur that I could really think of.
but in the sense of like,
Oh.
he didn't have the personality that Reggie
Who else
Miller
is
had.
dirty? Go ahead.
think.
Yeah, go ahead. Think.
As Cameron grabs the can of dip.
Go ahead.
No, he didn't have the larger than life personality. To me, Reggie Miller is a poor man's Kobe, and so
Oh.
when I watched
I'll give him that.
my guys go against Reggie Miller, I
But
just
how many
hated him.
times? Just one time?
No,
I think
I
they
mean,
went
I mean,
back.
they-
yeah, they probably met a couple
I mean,
times
they
during the year.
play each
They played
other
the
in
Sixers?
games. I'm not, but I understand your playoff argument,
Yeah, but
but
he's
they
just
play
talking-
other
yeah.
times,
Sure.
Plus, you're watching. I mean, if you're a kid and you're watching highlights and you're watching Kobe and then you watch Reggie Miller drop.
But they would only play twice a year.
No, but I'm not
East
saying when they're
versus West
playing
only plays
when they're
twice
not
a year.
playing each other, even he and doing that. It's still a little bit of a rivalry because you're both in the West. But I mean, still,
Both in the West, same division.
If
When
I'm
you're young, you don't. I mean, you don't necessarily worry about divisions or anything like that. You're going,
I
oh,
did.
Reggie. Well, yeah, but
I did.
you're an anomaly.
I'm
for that.
admitting that this isn't a rational pick.
Hey, you
let's
just hate him
say.
'cause you hate him.
This
If
is
you hate,
emotion.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
because you
If
hate
you
him.
hate him, you hate
This
him.
is
I can tell you
100%
not to hate
emotion.
him.
Yeah.
Honestly, if he was on the Lakers, I'd probably love him.
Yeah,
If he was on the Lakers growing up, I'd probably love Reggie Miller.
yeah.
But
could deal with that.
I hate Reggie Miller.
That's
That's
kind of my
fair.
Mayweather pick. I just hate him because I hate him.
I wanna
can't-
talk- I wanna-
I can't be mad at how good he is.
That's a surprising pick
He's
out
very.
of you.
He's very, very boring
Uh,
to watch fight.
I think Mayweather's an easy guy to hate.
Oh, he's no. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
He's-
surprised Cam picked him though.
No, I hate him. I hate him so much. I've hated. I mean, forever.
But he's great. He's a shit talker. He's cocky.
Yeah, but he's stupid.
Yeah, but everyone's
And he
stupid
beat
in
the
some
shit out
realm
of
of
his
life.
wife and kid.
I know he
Yeah.
can't read, but
Yeah,
Literally
I
can't
just. I've never liked like his open racism against white people. I just.
I mean, I hate him. I'm just surprised
Yeah.
that you picked
Yeah.
him as your
Oh,
number
I
two.
Oh, he would have been number one had I not hated the other guy more. But I don't like the person he is. I think it's so just like trash. Okay, man, I get it, man. You're worth millions and millions of dollars. Good for you. Act like you've been there before.
He is a
What are
trashy
you
dude.
walking around with a backpack with money in it for? It just looks so stupid to me. It really
You know
does.
what you know what that
it
is,
really
though?
just looks like you're ignorant.
That is a stupid man whose only claim to fame,
I'm rich.
I'm rich.
Yeah.
That's why
I-
his name is Floyd.
I
It's
seriously-
not Floyd literate Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's Floyd Money
Yeah.
Mayweather.
I don't think
The
it'll ever
money
happen. I mean, hopefully he has enough smart people around him, but I don't want to see.
He doesn't.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing doing the Evander Holyfield, being worth $500 million and then going bankrupt.
Oh, I'd love that.
I would love it.
I would love a
I would
riches
love
to
it.
rags story
Yeah,
like
I
that.
would love it.
Here's a question. You and Floyd meet in a back alley outside of a
He's gonna
Vegas strip
beat the
club.
shit out of me
I say hello, sir.
Nobody else around?
in a real fight.
Just bare knuckle fight.
Bro,
in
he
an
will
alley.
fuck you
He
up
will
in
fuck you up.
7 seconds.
I mean, I don't care.
Huh.
I think maybe if I
You wouldn't even
All three of us
You wouldn't
against him.
we'll beat the shit out of him.
3-on-1.
I think
we
two
can,
of us
We
has
can
got
tag him.
I mean, he's a small guy, but I mean, if he fucking punches you with just one of his, I mean, the guy's.
You'd
an
never
ass-
see it coming.
No, he's gonna hit you 9 times before you get to him.
Yeah, you'd never see it
Yeah.
coming.
But if
I
if
think
I
we
just
take him.
charge him and wrestle him down, he's probably still gonna beat me up. But
You sound like Arian Foster saying he could take down a wolf.
I could.
yeah, that was another stupid pick. But I love Arian Foster. I like the guy.
Me too, yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Arian Foster is he hates fantasy football, and I don't like that about him.
Nah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I don't think he necessarily said that.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he just.
Yeah. He said he's
I would get it because you know what? You get fucking jabronis like me
Yeah.
going,
Rooting
hey,
for-
dude.
no, rooting
You
for
couldn't
people
give
to
me
get
one
hurt.
more yard? He's
Or
like, fuck you.
his
man.
thing was people rooting for people to get hurt, which I don't do.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Unless you're Tim Tebow or
If
Colin
I-
Kaepernick.
I think if I was an athlete, I'd probably dislike
yeah, it's,
fantasy sports,
I mean,
especially
it's weird.
football.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. And tons of them play.
So, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
a lot
Some
of
of
them play.
them love it, some of them hate it.
Yeah, a
and
lot
it's
of
I don't
kinda-
know.
A lot of them
Depends on if
play.
you embrace it.
Yeah, I just don't like the guy. I think he's a real piece of. He's just classless, is what it is. I think
No.
he's just. I think he's just.
I can't
I mean,
believe.
I can appreciate coming from nothing. I can appreciate that, like a Mike Tyson story. I can appreciate a Mike Tyson story. The guy was literally trained to be a killer. Like he was poor, and I'm talking about Tyson, not Mayweather. But Mayweather's the same kind of thing. I mean, he really came from nothing. His dad was a professional boxer, but he worked his way up. The guy's a fucking This goes back to the can you hate him and appreciate his work. The guy's a fucking 50-0.
Imagine
I
if he
can't-
was likable though. That guy
If
would
he
be one
was
of the
a
most
if he was
powerful guys
a
in the
if he was a
world.
Manny Pacquiao,
No, if he
like
had like
if he just
yeah,
had like
yeah.
some sort of
like a
I don't even want him to give his money to charity. I don't even care about
I don't
that
know
really.
if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that because in fighting, I think you need villains. That's what gets you.
okay.
I think he's a Donald Trump-esque character.
He's got
You
that
can
aura.
appreciate what
Absolutely.
you can do, but he's gonna fucking be stupid just to be stupid.
You
Okay.
either what I was gonna say is he not nearly in the same breadth, but Conor McGregor and Floyd, to me, if I'm gonna break it down as simplistic as possible, they have the same draw.
Bless you.
The guys that are watching either want to see him get knocked the fuck out because he's
Yeah.
cocky and arrogant, or you got those diehards that are pigeonholed
Yes.
against fighting everybody else. I love this guy. I don't give a fuck. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then
Connor
you're
at least,
just on
Connor
that
at least
team.
was,
You
Connor
are
at
now
least was
on that
good at
team.
talking shit though.
No, and
It
that's
was so
that's why it's a
funny.
little
Some
different.
of the stuff that Connor
It's
said
great.
was so
Who
funny.
the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. And he brought
He's
one thing that I
intelligent.
loved about Conor McGregor, the biggest one, is when I can't remember what Connor said about it wasn't necessarily racist against black people, but he said something. I can't remember the exact.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
can't-
talking about?
yeah.
I can't remember the exact
Me
quote,
neither.
but then that next when they were doing like that fucking press
Presser.
tour and they
Yeah,
were
the
just
presser.
doing crazy shit. Conor McGregor literally looked at him and he's like, "My family used to be killed for just having my name in Ireland. Don't talk to me about racism." He's like, "You have no leg to stand on in this fucking thing. My country has been going through this. My family has been going through this," and I was just like, "Shut the fuck up. Stay in your lane. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
One thing I want to touch on, just a quick point. One thing I love about fighting for the most part is you'll get two fighters, two boxers, whatever it is, and they will pre-fight go at each other like they would eat each other alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at the end of the fight, the majority of the time, they shake hands.
Some do.
For the most
Yeah.
part though, there's a mutual respect. Like, hey, I understand where you're coming from. You understand that was just all business.
Oh, they
And-
made fucking $300 million a piece just because they were
Right.
talking shit so good.
Right. I respect you. I might hate you, but I
Yeah.
respect you. And that goes
Yeah.
back to one of my other questions. But one point that I want to make, and it's not a direct parallel, so I don't know if it's completely fair, but a likable combat athlete, let's just say, is
Okay.
hard to a highly successful one. That's a hard thing to pull off. But the guy that has done it, and if the blueprint can be followed again, you become mega successful in my mind, is The Rock. I know it's WWE.
Yeah,
I
I'm not gonna
know
buy that.
it's scripted, but he still has to be
Nope.
the villain sometimes. I know that that's kind of a facade world. I get that, and I get that it's different, but The Rock is, a strong, straightforward, can throw shade. Not as much now, but
The Rock
earlier,
meets Mayweather in a alley.
The Rock wins.
The Rock destroys him.
Just because he picks him up some
'Cause
body slams.
He
him.
tears him
Yeah.
limb by limb,
Yeah.
and throws him to the wolves, the
Yeah.
dire wolves type of.
So the only
But he's still so likable.
The only thing my pushback on that is, if you're The Rock, you can talk all the scripted shit you want, and I'm gonna say that again, the scripted
Whoa.
shit that you said.
What do you mean?
When you're talking
not
shit
real?
and they close that octagon, you gotta throw
Yeah.
blows.
I get it, and that's
you
why I
need
said
to
it's not
actually, you can get fucked up.
it's definitely not a direct parallel.
Okay.
And it's an admittedly flawed point, but
And, I mean,
there's
the-
some things
the-
to be taken from him.
But the things, I mean, this has nothing to do with any of this, but the stuff that those wrestlers do day in and day out is
They're great
pretty
athletes.
fucking incredible.
They're great athletes.
I mean, they're every night, like I listened to a Joe Rogan with Jake the Snake Roberts. Who
Yeah,
was
that was
big
good.
when I was,
Yeah.
and that guy was like, "I'll put our toughness against any other athlete there is," because what they're doing, I mean, they're fucking abusing the shit out of their bodies.
not getting knocked out.
I think they are. I mean, there's a lot of times where he was saying, he's like, "Yeah, man, I got hit. You know, it was supposed to be a chair to the face, and it just slipped one way, and it just knocked me out." I mean,
Boom.
not saying it's real, but it's still. I mean, the stuff that those guys do to their bodies, they're fucked up. I mean, look at all of them now. They're all in
I think-
wheelchairs and they're old.
I think if you had Cowboy Cerrone in here, who's been through countless
I
fights.
bet he respects them.
No, of course
bet
he
he does.
respects him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he would agree with the fact, and not that he's going to hear this, but I don't
He
think
might. Maybe he's listening.
yeah, but
Come on, cowboy. It'd be a great guy.
I don't know. I understand that there's slip ups that happen in WWE
I would say
where
the
you
grind.
get knocked
I'm
out.
talking more about the grind.
Okay, I
That,
think
the work ethic that those guys are doing day in and out. They're
that I respect.
Yeah.
That I respect. The physicality part, it goes, dude, you're not going in there not
True.
knowing what's going to happen.
Very true.
You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. You
I
can
got you,
snap
yeah.
your arm, snap your leg. You can
Yeah.
get knocked the fuck out.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. That's why I was kind of off topic, where I was just saying what they do is fucking hard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Well,
hard.
Yes.
it's
yes.
hard.
Yes.
It's not, you can say
And
it's
I'm not
fake-
gonna argue
You
that.
can say it's as fake as it wants, but those dudes are all jacked.
Yes.
They're all fucking working out.
They're great
all,
athletes.
Yeah, they are.
They're incredible athletes.
Sitting down
But
and
it-
writing a
a,
book
gre-
is
a great
hard. It
thing
doesn't
is
have to be
what's
physical.
that guy that the professional wrestler, the one that went in the UFC and got his ass kicked.
Nacho Libre.
Oh no. Oh shucks.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was
Brock Lesnar.
Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk.
He's like, dude, I could do it, and he's like, you could put a bad UFC fighter against him, he's gonna beat the shit out of him. He's like, it's not gonna happen for
It's
you.
a whole different
These guys have been
arena.
trained since they're kids. No, and I understand that.
Dude, what
That's
about-
another thing you could say about Mayweather. He took a pretty easy route. He picked and chose who he wanted to fight. He didn't take all the hardest fights. He didn't fight Manny Pacquiao in his prime.
Nope.
He fought Manny Pacquiao when he
That was
old.
5 years too late.
He just
6
beat up
years
some
too
guy. He
late.
just
He
beat up
waited.
some guy in Japan that was a kickboxer, and the guy was completely out of his league. I mean, he's 50 now. He did it, but you still took a pretty easy route. You didn't fight all the fucking toughest guy you probably could have.
Agreed.
And McGregor does the opposite.
McGreg-
I have one quick one, and then I think we'll get into like some deep ones.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Jay Cutler, Philip Rivers comparison, I don't understand. To some level, I do, but I think
I
they're
was
totally
mainly just
different.
talking about the whiny fucking him.
Okay,
like the
but
whiny, like.
I think it's
like,
Who's more whiny?
Jay Cutler.
Oh, really? I
No,
would say Philip
no,
Rivers
Philip
is
Rivers
way
is
more
more
whiny.
whiny.
From a
Jay Cutler after the games, Philip Rivers during the game.
Okay, here's my thing: is from a volume, just the amount of like whining and like outward complaining. Philip Rivers for sure, but you can't tell me that Philip Rivers is not a competitor. You can tell me that he's not a winner. You can tell
not
me
a
all these
winner.
things you want, but that guy. Have you ever heard him mic'd up? He's, dang flabbit, you mother trucker, and he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, not cuss.
Well, he's a religious dude, and I understand that.
But
and,
if you-
and I'm not talking about his family life. He's probably a decent guy off the field. But I just
Put a
think on the-
goddamn condom on.
I
Dude. You
just
have
think-
11 kids.
Yeah.
But also, if you hear him mic'd up, I know, like, you just look at him and it's like, what the hell is that guy doing? But
Yeah.
if you hear the words that he's saying,
I think he's
I had a
passionate. I
different-
think he's passionate to a fault.
and Jay Cutler is the guy that has like a Pomeranian and gets a mani-pedi every 2
No,
weeks,
I-
and
I just think they're both.
frost the tips of his hair.
I just
they're
think-
totally different.
I just think
Philip
the-
Rivers is a
the-
guy that would like put his hand up a horse's ass if it was he needed
no,
to say
and
that.
I,
horse.
I mean that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The
yeah,
off the field
yeah.
thing is not so much. I just
No.
You know?
this
Yeah.
is more goes.
I
to,
agree with
this
Ryan.
more goes to like how many arguments I've had with Charger fans. The biggest argument that any Charger fan can stuff their fucking foot in their mouth. We'd rather have him than Drew Brees.
No.
Are you fucking stupid?
You can't say
You
Well,
are
that's-
so stupid.
I love that. It kind of goes back to what we said last week. I'd rather have those guys out in the open.
They're delusional.
So you're dumb.
They're delusional.
You're telling me you're dumb.
Okay, so you're
That's what
telling me
telling
you put Drew Brees with LT
Antonio
and
Gates,
Antonio Gates in his prime.
Vincent Jackson.
Vincent Jackson in his prime.
They had a good team.
Sean Merriman, lights out,
Roided up.
before he beat up Tila Tequila.
People
roided
forget
up.
about him.
He was roided.
He's
up.
in the UFC. He's doing MMA now, and he's probably gonna hurt somebody if he gets hold.
So I want
Big
to. I want
motherfucker.
to. I want
I
to say
just think
this.
they're totally different dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're both fucking pussies.
I
agree with
I don't
that.
like either. I don't like either of them, but
Philip
I agree,
Rivers is-
I agree with Rybo because Rivers, the minute I started hating that guy is when he was in his first, second year. He throws a pick or does something, and he starts running up to Champ Bailey, who was at the time one of the best corners ever, and starts talking shit. And Champ Bailey literally gave him the look like,
Who the fuck are you?
who the Conor McGregor? Who the fuck is this guy?
Who the
like I don't know who you are, bro.
Yeah.
And then he runs at refs when he throws a pick. Oh, the ball hit the ground. I don't know. Jay Cutler's a totally different animal.
Walk off the field with your head
He's
down.
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
There's a great story
Sit
about
on
a
the
guy
bench.
who Cutler walks in. They're at Vandy. He's a Vandy grad, and he must have came back for a weekend.
Should have been a pitcher.
And the guy goes, "Hey, aren't you Jay Cutler? What's up, man?" And Cutler, just drunk as fuck, starts pissing and just goes, "Bro, I don't give a fuck." And that was Jay Cutler on the field.
Yeah.
It always looked like he
Yeah.
didn't give a shit.
And he didn't.
And I
He
hate
didn't.
and I hate Philip Rivers,
He didn't.
but I don't know if I could ever, with a clear conscience, say that
No,
Philip Rivers
no,
ever
he's not
didn't
that.
give a
He's-
shit.
He's not that guy.
Oh,
He
Philip Rivers.
always-
Philip
gives a lot of
Rivers,
shits.
Philip Rivers cares for sure.
He
Philip
cares.
Rivers gives a lot of shoots.
He cares to a fault to where like you just come off as a whiny little bitch.
Exactly.
You just come off as a whiny bitch. And anybody that's charged, oh look at his stats, look at his stats. It's easy to fucking put up stats when you're playing 3 touchdowns down. It's easy to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm
Win
gonna play,
win a big game.
I hate
win
the
a big game.
I hate the
Ty,
Chargers.
do you need another one?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Aaron.
Win a
Thank you.
big game, and then I'll respect you.
Now,
I just think-
no.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Ibo. I got to take this one.
No,
but
take it.
I hate Philip Rivers. He's one of my top 3, probably most hated quarterbacks I've ever watched in my lifetime. And the one thing, if I'm a reasonable fan, and I'm not saying you're not, but Philip did put him in opportunities to win games, and the
They
kickers,
just didn't have kickers.
the kickers missed the field goals.
And also took him out of
like 4 times.
opportunities.
a bunch of times, bro.
Yeah.
Talking
Last-
about those
what was that,
Merriman
last
years.
year?
Talking about those Merriman years, man. They were in opportunities to win the games, and Nate Kading would plunk one
Yeah.
off the.
Or when what was it? Eric Weddle picked it off Tom Brady, and then he tried to run it back and fumbled.
So I can't put it all. I don't like the guy and the way he handles himself. I don't think that's really the right way to do things. But to say they can't win because of Phillip, I don't really think is fair.
I think
But
it
also
gets
comes
unwarranted hate.
in the NFL.
Some
In the
of it
NFL, it
deserved,
comes
but-
back on the quarterback, no matter what it
Always.
is.
But
It's going
my
to.
argument is that fair? I don't know if that's always fair.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not even close to fair.
And I fucking
Quarterbacks
hate
get
the
all
guy.
the glory,
I fucking hate the guy.
and they get the downfall.
And that's. And when you wear a bolo tie, dude, you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Like I really don't give a shit what
You
happens
don't
to
like
you.
bolo ties,
Am I?
gotta
do I
take
have an
your birthday-
accent?
I
Am I
gotta
from
take your birthday gift
fucking
back.
Texas?
dude?
He's from North Carolina.
I'd love
He
to
does-
strap on
why
my
you wearing
bolo
a
tie
bolo
every
tie,
morning and
bro?
drink black coffee. Thank you, Aaron.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's just, yeah. I mean, they're mainly just because they're whiny.
I'm wearing a bolo tie next week.
Can I tell you guys a story about
You can count
another
on it.
NFL quarterback that was
Yeah,
my honorable
yeah,
mention?
get that Jamarcus.
Because this story is funny.
Yes,
And
get
he
that
didn't
in.
make my list because I didn't really hate him that much when he was in the league.
I'm curious though, because you said you had personal.
Personal experience with Jamarcus Russell. So I'm in Vegas.
Every good story.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas. I'm at the Palms. I'm with a bunch of guys, and my one buddy Jose, little tiny guy, he's probably 5'6", little tiny. He's wearing
I
a
love this
Jamarcus
story.
Russell jersey.
He
He's
just ran
wearing
the
it.
Kentucky Derby.
He's wearing a Jamarcus Russell jersey. Jamarcus Russell's there. He's playing craps with like probably 10 black dudes, big as big as him, right? Jose walks up to him, probably a little drunk. I mean, we're in Vegas. Goes, "Hey man, can I get your autograph?" And he goes, looks at him, looks him up and down. He goes, "Fuck you." Just like that. Okay, so I have another crazy buddy. Shout out, I hope you're listening, Justin. Big boy. Not as big as Jamarcus Russell, but the craziest fucker I've ever known. Right? I have no shirt on. I just came from the pool. I was going in to meet up with a couple friends, whatever it was. I have no shirt on. I'm in board shorts. Justin sees this, and he legit is the craziest person I've ever met. He goes, "You know what? Fuck you," to Jamarcus Russell. So there's 10 dudes with him. It's me, Jose, who can't barely walk, he's so drunk, and Justin, who's crazy as fuck. He turns around, looks at me, and he goes, "We're fucking doing this." I'm like, "No,
nah, bro.
no, we're not.
Can we
doing
not?
this. We're not doing this. Like, we're not."
Can
Gonna,
we-
and he starts going crazy.
He just wanted to be on SportsCenter.
No. Not
Granted,
top 10.
granted, one-on-one, Jamarcus Russell versus Justin, it's going to be a good fight. 10 monster guys versus us, and literally this guy is fucking staring at me. I'm tall. I'm 6'4". This guy is staring down at me. He is massive. One of his people, entourage that are with him, he starts pulling off his chains. He's got like 4 gold chains on. Pulling off his chains, handing him to his buddy. He goes,
Bro, when
he
a dude
goes,
starts pulling
he
off
goes,
his chains.
he literally looked me in the face. He goes, "You're about to die, white boy." And I'm like, I got fucking no shoes on. I'm in my board shorts. I'm drunk as
That's
shit.
enough of that.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck. And Justin's going crazy. He's like, "You know what? Fuck." And he's just losing his mind. Okay, so they end up breaking it up or whatever. Justin's like, "We should have fucking taken him." I'm like, "Nah, man. Like, the only way this works out for us is they're gonna beat the shit out of me for sure.
They're gonna.
And
go
then I'm gonna
biggest
be on
hackers.
ESPN and I'm gonna be the guy on the ground getting kicked, just kicked to shit."
But let's play this through. If you are gonna go after a sports figure with an entourage,
Jamarcus Russell isn't a bad pick.
that's not a bad pick. And the
I would be a
time
lot
to
less
do it-
worried if it was Philip Rivers. and
but the
his
time to
entourage of
do
8
it, the
kids.
time to do it is on a casino floor in Vegas because
Yeah.
you know that's gonna get broken up real fast. You're probably not gonna lose an eye or break
Dude,
anything.
this is when he was still in
and
the
you're
league.
gonna have that story forever. Can you
yeah.
imagine if you guys
Fuck,
really
bro,
went after
you're on-
Jamarcus Russell?
You're on camera.
Oh,
the guy
dude,
goes in one
if-
more curb stomp. You're
Yeah.
getting paid, bro.
If-
you're getting paid,
and it would
It's
get
a ma-
broken up in
If
10 seconds.
Justin would have had the chance, he would have hit him. But his guys all stepped in front of him and was like, "Fuck this!" Like, we're obviously it's been done before. Like they
I
knew,
bet he
they knew
wishes.
the routine.
I bet he wishes the Raiders O line blocked like his
I'm
buddies
just
did.
saying,
Dude,
I'm
okay,
just
so
saying if
later
you're
on,
gonna do
later
it-
on that night, we go to the club, we're
gotta
partying,
go.
whatever. We're like,
I've already heard this.
we go to this is like 4 a.m. We go to McDonald's, right in the Palms. We're all fucked up. They're sure as shit. This is, I mean, Jamarcus Russell's still in the league.
We
4
meet
a-
again.
4 a.m. They're in the McDonald's.
Well, he was fat as shit, so
He was
that makes
fat
a
as-
lot
yeah,
of sense.
He was fat, dude. These guys' T-shirts were as big as me. Like these guys were all
Bigger.
bigger than like they were. Oh no.
Not
hopefully they
again.
don't. Hopefully they don't recognize me. Like I'm with other friends from the same.
You're
group.
pretty recognizable though.
Not at that time. I might have had hair then. I was a little bit more. I had
Oh, this is a while
Yeah,
ago.
this was 10, 12 years ago.
Oh.
And I mean he was still in the league. So he's eating McDonald's at 4 a.m. when he's in the league. It was crazy. I mean, it was. And then later on, we meet up with our friends. They're like, "What?" And they're looking at Justin like, "You tried to fight who?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I would have fucked him up." I'm like, "Okay, yeah." I mean, it was just a crazy story.
I wonder what Jamarcus Russell is doing now, and if we can get him on the podcast and we can talk about that, how
Yeah.
fun would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'll bring Justin in.
I don't care if he wants to bring his lean and that
Yeah.
scissor. He can
Yeah.
do that too while
Yeah.
we're doing
that
it.
guy
I don't
could
give a
throw the
shit.
I want him to
ball.
be
That guy could
comfortable.
throw the ball 70 yards in the air on his knees. 70 yards in the air on his knees. I don't think I could throw an NFL football 25 yards.
That's just
those things
wasted
are so
talent.
fucking heavy.
They're huge.
They're huge.
They're massive.
Yeah.
That's so much wasted
Yeah,
talent.
that's a typical Raiders pick. Way to go, assholes.
It
Have
makes-
fun with Antonio Brown.
All right, so we got a receiver. This is Al Davis. We got a receiver here, Al. He runs a 4.3. Did the shuttle drill, this and that, broad jump. He's the best measurable guy. Okay, he's a receiver, right? Yeah. Can he catch? No. All right, let's draft him. Trade up. Trade up.
Yeah.
He's got the intangibles. Fucking.
Yeah, that was my honorable mention for him because that was just like a crazy thing to have happen. Who does that to a guy wearing your jersey?
Yeah, kind of a dickhead.
That's just a
move.
guy that doesn't get it.
Yeah.
That's why I would love to have him on.
Yeah,
We might have to.
we'd have to get a bigger table.
I was gonna say he was.
This guy's a fucking monster.
He's probably huge.
He was so big.
Can you imagine how big he is now, though?
Yeah, he was big. I don't know
Tall
how
or
much-
round?
Both.
Probably more. I'm thinking
He
more
was both
round.
then.
I can't assume he got taller.
Yeah, he was both then. He was like, I mean, he was
Maybe
like
he
6'7".
did.
He was like 6'7", like 325 as a quarterback.
Jesus Christ.
All right. What do we? I have some.
Yeah, that's why I had to take a leak. I'm sorry for having a
Yeah,
leak, but
no,
I knew we
it
were
was
about to
no.
start getting nitty gritty,
Oh,
and I
that's a
didn't
fun.
want to
That's
leave.
a fun story for everybody.
I'd heard it,
I have
so-
some big check marks next
Okay.
to a few of them.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to name them all off? and
No,
then we
just
can-
go into whoever you want. I mean,
One at a
Sergio,
time.
Sergio is Sergio. We don't have to talk
Let's
about
go to
him.
Kawhi.
That's a weird one for me too because
Okay.
okay, let me tell you why I don't think Kawhi got fucked.
It's a weak pick, by the way.
And Reggie Miller's not?
Oh,
Well, it depends on where this
yeah.
conversation
Okay, so
goes.
Kawhi to me in the NBA right now, he's my top couple of favorite players. Just because his
Okay.
game, just because I love his game. I think he's quiet. I think he stays under the radar.
He is
I
quiet.
like that shot he made the other day was awesome.
I've seen better.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, a bounce.
Derek
bounce.
Fisher.
Yeah,
And that
Robert
hurts.
Horry,
That hurts. a
Ray
lot to
Allen.
say.
He'll
could-
end
you
up
could
being
throw in
better
a lot
than
of shots.
MJ.
Did you know that literally 2 of those 4 were against the Spurs? Like
Yeah.
daggers.
Okay,
Daggers.
so Kawhi, when he was hurt, wanted to come back.
Oh, is that what you heard? Uncle Dennis texting you, or what's
Okay,
going on here? dude?
That's what I heard. That
We
was
had-
the story.
We had beer with Chris Broussard.
Yeah, he wanted to
Chris
come.
Broussard doesn't
He
know
wanted to come
shit.
back.
According to his
he wanted to come
sources.
back, maybe premature. Not come back to the team. When he was hurt, he wanted to start playing. They said, "No, you're not ready yet." I understand that.
That's a Spurs thing. They've done that to
I-
every person.
I understand that, but that has to be frustrating to a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who is a top 5 guy in the NBA at the time. He wants to play. They say no. Then when he's ready to play, they go, all right, you're ready to play. And he goes, "Nah, well, fuck. I mean, you guys already kept me out. Why am I going to play now? I can just wait it out now. Did they make the playoffs that year?
Yep.
Well, that's another thing for him.
They made the playoffs like the last 20
Yeah.
years.
They haven't
or
missed the
some shit.
playoffs since I was 6.
Yeah. Okay, so
You're
that's my
spoiled.
thing with Kawhi. I love the guy. I think
am
he's a great.
spoiled.
I think he's great. I think he's one of the. He's top 3 in the NBA right now.
The way now,
I don't have the inside fucking Twitter Spurs.
I'm gonna flex my nuts a little bit
Yeah, I
here
don't have
because
that.
you know how dialed in.
Yeah.
Spurs are my favorite team
As
for
an,
anybody.
for
any
as
listener,
an average E
yes.
ESPN listener, that's the story that I got.
For anybody that doesn't know, I am and have been a diehard Spurs fan since
He
I
even
can,
likes Tim Duncan, the
I've-
most
I've-
boring player in the NBA ever.
So
I've
what-
Go
never
ahead,
seen
go
a
into
man
Kawhi.
flex his nuts, so I'm excited to see this.
Give me a sec.
I might have popped something, but we'll deal
Below
with
the
that
table
later.
activities at an all-time high right now.
So the reason I called, bullshit on that is so you said that he was ready to come back.
He wanted to play, and they said he wasn't healthy enough yet.
From everything I saw on ESPN and Spurs Twitter, said the opposite.
Okay, that's
The
just,
Spurs said, "Hey, bro, you are medically cleared. You are fired up." And the reason I bring that up is because the Spurs have been pretty much well known within anybody within the NBA
For
circle.
sitting people out.
Is we are going to make sure that you're okay to go, so we don't risk anything in the long term. Ask Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan went through the same thing, a guy you just mentioned, where Timmy was okay and Pop goes, "You're going to sit out another 10 games because we need you. We need you." And the Spurs did their due diligence, as far as I know. Now, I do want to say this before I get too much deeper. There is something about this story that we don't know.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Whether it's from the Spurs side or Kawhi's camp,
Probably
both.
both.
something,
Probably both.
something happened there and no one's saying shit.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Kawhi doesn't talk. The Spurs don't ever leak anything. That totally makes sense. However, my problem comes is when you're medically cleared by the staff, one of the most unlenient,
Diligent.
most diligent medical staffs in the entire NBA, where they're never going to throw you out there just to win a game in fucking January.
Fuck, Pop sits guys. Pop
Or
will
just
play.
'cause.
He'll play the Golden State Warriors, and he'll sit all of his starters
On purpose.
just because he does
On
that.
purpose.
Yeah.
Like-
I like that about him.
And some of that's because he wants to get his guys big moment, whatever. But that's why I don't agree with the whole Kawhi Leonard thing. And I put in Zaza Pachulia too, because without that dirty play, and it is dirty, I'm not going to go over it ad nauseum, but Zaza's had multiple dirty plays against the Spurs, and he's probably had multiple others against teams I don't watch every night.
Yeah.
But that was a dirty play. That's where that happened. He turned his ankle, then the quad injury or the whatever it was a weird quad injury. But there's no way that the Spurs, there's no way I can believe the only guy that has played for the Spurs in the last 20 years that is just out. He gave up money to force a trade because the Spurs are the only team that can sign him to a supermax because they drafted him. You can only sign him that much. You could pay him an extra $30 million. How I just and to have guys like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili publicly call you out. I have never, and I know you guys have never heard it because you're about as old as I am, and I've watched those guys' entire career. They have never once, ever lambasted a guy in the public.
Because the Spurs are boring.
That has nothing to do with the Kawhi thing. The Spurs are boring. I get
I'm
it.
just saying.
No,
Tony
I get
Parker
it.
and Manu are boring.
Manu's not boring, and that's
Well, he's
You should-
miseducation on your
You
part.
should you
He's
should
passionate.
That's
appreciate. You should
miseducation.
No, he's
appreciate.
passionate. He's passionate.
You should appreciate Manu because you'll never see a player like him ever again.
No, he's a Hall of Famer.
Undoubtedly.
He's a Hall.
You should
Undoubtedly.
appreciate
I just
the
don't like.
boringness,
I mean, I don't
First
like.
ballot. And the Spurs weren't boring in the back half of their career. When you think about the Spurs, you think about the Twin Towers, I'm sure, and
I think of Tim Duncan just in general.
89, 91 games against the Pistons or the Nets, whatever it is. In the back half of the career, they were very exciting to watch, but I cannot get over the fact that he literally held a franchise that did nothing but help develop them, and I'll take the other side of it. He worked hard as hell to get developed, and he was willing to listen.
He did seem like he was a Spurs guy.
He was that-
quiet.
That is the only jersey I own, is a Kawhi Leonard jersey, because I thought this guy's gonna be here forever.
Yeah, he did fit.
So-
He did fit in. He was boring. I mean, he's not boring, but he was quiet. He went by the rules. He did the Spurs thing.
Went
I
from
understand that.
8 to
Which goes
11.
back to what you said. Something happened.
Something happened.
Where a falling out happened, or an argument, whatever it was. Agent, could have been anything.
It was his uncle, and I'm gonna call that. And with all my NBA sources I have, that's what they've been telling me. But
Locker room tape guy.
Uncle Dennis was the reason that there was a falling out.
Yeah.
His
Maybe.
uncle, he doesn't have a dad, and I'm not gonna go into that story. But Uncle Dennis was not happy with the way things were going. And the part that really pissed me off about the Kawhi thing, okay, if you can't play, show up to the game, wear a suit, support your teammates. They were in the playoffs, and he's rehabbing in New York. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That just goes more into the point that something happened.
And the weirder part, if we're going to fast forward another eight months,
How old is he now?
I think he's 27.
Okay, so
27.
then he was 25 years old. You're gonna listen to your uncle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Why do you
Like,
have an issue with him rehabbing? KD just missed a playoff game because he's rehabbing.
Well, to Cameron's point, if he's healthy, why do you need to rehab?
But if he has, in his mind, has to rehab,
No,
he's
he might have
obviously
still been hurt.
rehabbing.
I was just saying. This is
That's
what.
not what you said.
No, from what I heard, he was hurt. He wasn't ready to play. And then before he got cleared, he said, "I'm ready to play," and they said, "No, you're not ready to play." So I mean,
Then why rehab?
So I read a
A
few.
lot of guys rehab, and they do it in their own. You don't fly. What's his connection to New York? He's from Riverside.
San
You
Diego
never
State.
know. There might be there might be a trainer there. I mean, we don't know those things. There's obviously a lot to this story that went on that we don't know. I think on both sides. I read a few. There's some beat writers for San Diego State and for the Spurs, and everything I've heard is Pop slept with his girlfriend.
Well, that makes sense.
So that's kind of what happened there. Heard it here first.
I was almost gonna make a joke, but I love Popovich too much to even joke about that kind of thing.
Here's why I don't like this pick, Tybo. And then, well, we'll see where it goes.
It's personal. As
It's,
And I get that, but
Straight
to
personal.
me, it's like a jealous ex-boyfriend pick.
I'm not mad.
Well, he's on your top 5 most hated players of all time.
I can hate him. Like when he hit that shot last week, I literally had no emotion. I wasn't like fuck that guy when he hit the shot. I'm just saying fuck that guy for what he did the last year and a half. Everything else moving forward, I don't watch games, with the exception of that first game back in San Antonio when we fucking mopped them by 30. That was the only time I was.
Jealous
Yeah,
ex-girlfriend.
exactly.
But
You're helping my point, Tybo.
no, but
I think that if
You can
Kawhi
believe
doesn't,
me or not.
if Kawhi does everything by the books, Kawhi's in your top 10 favorite athletes of all time.
Probably top
in the next 5 years.
Probably top 5.
he would be.
Yeah.
But that stems.
But it didn't happen. I see what you're saying.
I'm not asking you guys to believe me, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth that I don't feel like when I'm watching Toronto games, I'm not like, fuck number 2. I always make that joke, like,
Yeah.
oh, who's that guy, number 2? Like,
Yeah.
that's just me trying to be facetious and funny. Now, do I want to see him win? Of course not. But am I gonna? Adamantly like be like miss his shot?
Yeah.
No, because I know how great he was.
You weren't rooting
and
for Toronto in that series?
no,
Really?
I mean, why don't I?
So
I don't
You
love
hate
Philly.
Philly. You hate Philly with everything inside of you.
But Philly, their team was never going to win, so I wasn't worried about it.
So I guess the point here is that what Kawhi did in basically a 4 to 5 month span is enough for him to be on your top 5 most hated athletes of all time.
Tybo
This
loves
has
the
been-
Spurs so much.
This has been a year and a half brewing.
That's why Reggie Miller is one of mine. I love the Lakers so much
Yeah.
that it's
All right,
I would say that's a tougher correlation to
Yeah,
make.
that's. I don't
It
know
doesn't
if-
connect
yeah.
as like if Reggie Miller would have
Been on
been
the
on the Lakers
Lakers
and did them dirty, then I could see
and
it.
been the guy to
I'm
take
not
over the franchise.
I'm not stealing how much
See,
you hate him.
I
You can
look
hate
at-
him as much as you want.
well, no, that's fine. But I
But-
look at it as the opposite. Like you should appreciate all that you got from Kawhi.
And I do. I appreciate. We don't win that championship in 14.
No.
No.
Without Kawhi.
No.
No doubt. And I
Who was MVP of that series?
Kawhi.
That's right.
Yes, yeah, and I understand that. That's why, whenever I think the argument could be made that his jersey might deserve to be retired as a Spur.
Oh, I think
don't.
it wasn't there long enough.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Now, I know that wouldn't go over well, but-
you're admitting, and this is all that I really want is, it's a love-hate with Kawhi for you.
It was a. I mean,
It was
yes.
an epic
It
love.
still is.
To put it that way, yes. But
It was
imagine,
a notebook love.
Imagine that
It was a
the franch-
fiery,
The
passionate.
Yes.
franchise did everything in their power to be like, we see this Tim Duncan, Parker Manu era coming to an end,
Yeah.
and we have this guy that's going to keep that going. And that one guy is literally, other than Steven Jackson, is the only guy that's had a problem with the Spurs.
I
And
gotta-
all of a sudden he spurns it, and now we're like,
I got to
Fuck.
imagine. I got to imagine
Fuck.
something. I got to imagine that the first domino to fall was on the Spurs end, because Kawhi
I think that's subjective though.
Well,
Yeah,
we
I
don't.
know
Well,
why-
we
I
don't
don't
know.
No, I mean subjective in Kawhi's eyes, because they could have just been
Well, yeah.
doing something, and then
Absolutely.
he
Trying to
could have
protect him.
And
But, but what you were saying earlier, Kawhi is like the most Spur-like guy that has ever been born.
and the
Tybo had
Spurs are the most player friendly as far as keeping you healthy
Right.
and making sure you win rings. Franchise there is
Like,
in
if there was
possibly
if
all
there,
of sports.
If there was ever a guy built to be a Spur for 20 plus years, it's
fucking
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard.
You know what?
It's
How-
So I
fucking
got to
Kawhi
imagine
Leonard.
something
You know
happened.
how I
on-
know Tybo hates
I don't know what it was.
Kawhi? Because he had cornrows. Tybo had cornrows the entire time.
I didn't even
Kawhi
go to
was-
Jamaica to get him.
Yeah.
I just
Tybo
did
had
it.
Wow.
cornrows the entire time, and he hasn't had cornrows since.
Nope.
That's strong.
No cornrows.
I also want to know, this isn't, I don't know, this might be a deep one, but we have some big hitters here, so I'm kind of holding those off till the end. The Ventura pick.
Yeah, I can make that quick. Yordano Ventura, I don't want anybody to ever die. I think that's sad. He was very talented. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was a grade A cocksucker on the bump whenever he threw. When I say on the bump, as a pitcher, he literally would bark at guys because he got mad they hit the ball up the middle. There was a play with Adam Eaton. Guy hits the ball up the middle. He got mad, and he starts barking at him. Bench is clear. What does he do next inning? Throws 100, and the kid used to throw 100 miles an hour, and he would throw it right at their head.
Upwards
He
of
would throw it right at their head. He's the
Yeah, that's
only.
crazy.
He's the only guy I've ever seen get in Mike Trout's face. Mike Trout hit a ball up the middle, ends up scoring. Ventura's backing up the pitcher or the catcher, and he gets in Trout's face, and Trout looks at him like, "Dude, what's the fucking deal here?"
Trout's hard to not
He's
like.
definitely a piece of shit.
Yeah, Trout's hard to
And
not
that's
like.
only. I mean, I literally looked at videos today. I saw 7 or 8,
Oh, yeah.
like
That
bench
was-
clearing brawls that involved Yordano Ventura because he was such a petty little piece of shit, and he would just throw. That's a weapon. I don't care what
100
you.
miles an hour,
I
you're
don't-
dead.
I don't care what you think about it.
Yeah, people can.
There is a. We talked about from a baseball purist standpoint. There's a code to throwing at a guy. There's a code.
Hit him in the ribs.
You don't throw at their head.
Hit 'em in
you
the
don't throw
ribs.
behind their head, and he did that consistently.
Yeah.
So I'm sad he died. I put him on here for a little bit of shock value, but fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what?
You can hit him dead too. I don't care.
No, I hate him dead
Yeah.
too. That's why he's on my list.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that rule of like not being able to talk ill of the dead. Like it is what it is. Like everyone dies. Like
Yeah,
if they were a
make you a
piece of
better
shit, they're a
person.
piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
So
I was just curious if you had like a.
no personal experience. Just being a baseball fan. I
Yeah.
know that's not how you're supposed to do
I
things.
agree with you. I
That's
agree
not
with
how
you.
you do things.
Yeah, he was a guy that just didn't get it. Like, this is gonna sound fucked up, but the game is better without him. I wish it didn't happen in the circumstances that it happened, obviously, but the game is much better without him in it.
I could not agree more. His teammates even said, "Hey, we're kind of sick of getting put in these positions where we have
Yeah,
to go.
'cause they have to back
fuck,
him up.
We have to back up this guy when we know he's being a douchebag."
Yeah.
And the best part about him is the reason I brought up my frame and how scrawny I am and how scrawny he is. He would always chirp and kind of get in your face, and then wait for the catcher to hold him back, and then really start doing the
yeah.
hold me back, bro, hold me back, hold me back.
Yeah.
And that just tells me you're weak.
The Yasiel Puig move.
You're weak. No, I kind of fuck with Puig.
Well, he's a big boy, but that fight that they were like, oh, dude, he wasn't trying to hit anybody.
No, but he
You
did
were-
go
if-
after him.
Okay, but if you're
Better than
Yasiel
Ventura
Puig's
was.
size,
I don't want to
there
ruin
is
a Game
not
of Thrones
one.
reference.
There is
Yeah,
not
don't.
one person that's going to stop Yasiel Puig if he wants to.
One-on-one.
No, I'm saying,
No.
okay, so the team is holding him back. You think a third base coach is going to hold back Yasiel Puig in that situation?
Did
no,
you
but
see like a month ago though when he literally went around like 3 dudes and tried to fight the whole Pirates team on
yeah,
his own?
that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're going to hit somebody, you're going to hit somebody if you're that big.
But he tried to. He literally
That's
went
what
up
I'm saying.
and
Nobody's
tried to
hold-
tackle somebody,
nobody's
and then he
holding
got
you-
knocked
yeah,
over.
Nobody's holding you back. I mean, you just. I mean, that's another guy that's a plus. I think.
I don't like Puig, but
No, I don't either.
I kind of respect
I
him
think
a
he's a
little
prima
bit.
donna.
All right, so that's my Yordano Ventura. Play the game the right way. Don't throw at guys' heads. Don't do that.
Absolutely.
You could kill somebody.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything extra special to that.
Big Ben. Only because
Yeah.
he's a raper.
No, not only because
You don't like motorcycles. You don't like motorcycles or rapers.
You know he doesn't wear a helmet either. He's one of those
So,
guys.
Fucking riding that hog with a shirt off, with a 16-year-old on the back.
Bag.
I saw a
Oh, I
quote.
can't say that anymore.
I'm gonna butcher it, but it was like, sexually assault me once, shame on me, and then they like made fun of George Bush, sexually assault me twice.
I don't know. It's a Louisiana saying.
Yeah,
I like Big Ben.
why?
I just, I mean, I
Okay.
think he's a great competitor. I think I think he, with this whole stuff that went on with Bell and Antonio Brown, that was probably a pussy move, but who knows what was going on behind closed doors. But I just think he's a winner, man. I mean, he doesn't get tackled. He's fucking, I mean,
Rybo, it's your.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you have
so
the floor.
I like,
I'm gonna stay out of this one. This is
I
your
like
guy.
the guy.
So we just said, okay, he has one Super Bowl, right? The Steelers are one of the better franchises in football.
I think they have the most Super Bowls ever.
Yeah,
I'll admit
they
that.
do.
Yeah, and he has one of them. But we did also just say earlier that the weight of the quarterback we put too much weight into
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
okay? Okay, here's why I don't like him. I think he's a dog shit leader. I think multiple people have come out and said that, especially recently.
Antonio
Ryan Clark
Brown and
said,
Bell.
They all say he's just a terrible person, right? When they drafted Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph,
that was a bitch move.
he's just okay. So he pulls the, I might retire. Plays the hard to get card, and then they draft Mason Rudolph, which it makes sense. If I'm the GM, I do something like that as well.
And he says, I'm
then
not going to help him.
Then he gets all offended and is like, yeah, I'm not going to help him. Like, what? And then he signs a 2-year extension. And so he reminds me of the kid on the playground that just whines. He feels entitled. He's always been like the biggest, strongest kid, but he picks on kids. He, if he gets hit with a dodgeball too hard, then everything needs to be changed. He's just like that. I think he's a bigger pussy than Phillip Rivers.
No
Yes,
way.
he is. Also,
They meet in the back alley.
Also, he sexually assaulted.
Yeah, let's
Apparently, has
not to gloss over that, but yeah.
2 incidents, right?
Yes,
I mean, that's.
yes.
I agree that these
I think
athletes.
most of these lists, though, I mean, we could probably pick 2 from each of our lists that have got caught doing that shit.
Yeah. Okay, but I think a lot of these athletes are targets, and
I don't think
We'll
if you're
get
Big
to-
Ben, you have to rape anybody. Same thing with Kobe.
But-
I don't think you have to rape anybody.
I don't think Kobe raped anybody.
You're gonna
by
go
the
to
way.
my hotel room. You know why? Because I'm Big Ben.
wow, Tybo.
I don't think he raped.
And
him.
I think Kobe is on a whole.
But I don't
nother-
know.
We're
I
gonna
think
get
Kobe-
to Kobe.
I
We're
think
gonna get.
I think Kobe's on an astronomically higher level
We're
than
gonna
Big
get
Ben when it comes to something like that. Kobe Bryant does not have to rape anybody.
We will get to Kobe.
Luke
but
Walton,
Let's stick to-
Luke
let's-
Walton, he might have.
let's
to.
Big
stick to
Big
Big
Ben,
Ben.
who knows what happened, but
Yeah.
I, in my mind, think he did something, and I think he's done it more than twice. What that is, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate. I do think that some of these athletes are targets. And
Regret is not
it's
rape.
bullshit.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
Regret is not rape.
But I think that
Aziz Ansari.
I think Big Ben
that
has
was
done some
bullshit.
bad things.
Questionable, probably.
I really don't like him as a leader. I don't
Okay.
like him as a person. I think he's well liked in Pittsburgh, and that's pretty much it. Other than you, Cam.
I don't like the Steelers, but
I know I'm talking about him.
I respect Big Ben.
I just.
I'm on Cam's side there. I don't
Yeah.
like the Steelers, but I
respect Big
I don't
Ben.
hate them.
How do you respect?
I respect Le'Veon Bell 1,000 times less for the stupid shit that he pulled.
So I don't think he pulled anything stupid. I'm fully for especially NFL players.
That worked out for him.
Get your fucking money. I'm
Yeah,
okay with
I
that.
mean,
Especially
but-
running backs. Especially running backs.
Now, what I will say is to say that Big Ben's been a bad leader because of what Le'Veon Bell said and Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It kind of goes,
No.
all right, dude, those aren't
There's
the
some
two
other
best
dudes. Ryan Clark.
characters.
Yeah.
Ryan, and I respect Ryan Clark.
He
I really
has
like
good
what he
takes.
does.
He's
Yeah,
an
I really
intelligent
like.
guy.
I really do like Ryan Clark, and
He said the same thing.
I do think Big Ben is an egomaniac, and that I will never disagree with.
And I hate people like
Who just said they were going to fight Ryan Clark?
that. Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
who it was?
Yeah, it was
well, don't let
Antonio
me
Brown.
catch you in the. Like,
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
And Ryan Clark said, dude, if you want to catch this fade, bro,
Yeah.
we
Go
we
ahead.
can handle it.
Yeah.
But
like all through ESPN. It's
yeah,
so great.
if you want to, and he said, he goes, back in my old days, I'd say, bro, roll up, catch this fade, and let's go.
Yeah.
Because he knows he would fuck him up.
Yeah,
Because
Ryan
AB's a
Clark would beat
little,
him up.
AB's a little
He's
pretty
a big boy.
AB
Yeah.
could run away, but if
Yeah.
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 AB would shake him on a route if they had to do that.
Okay, so
but-
this is what I'll say. I understand the pick. I just don't agree. I mean,
I'm okay with that.
And
I
that's
think
why it's
you-
our personal.
Yeah,
right?
it's personal.
And that's why it's personal.
And I understand. Like, the rape thing to me is probably more opportunist on the side of the girls, which I think most of the time when it comes to professional athletes, that's what it's going to be.
I think that's a slippery.
Take that for
I
what
think
it
that's a
is.
slippery slope.
Super
Because
slippery.
I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
I don't
I don't know what
I
happened.
tend to agree with what Cam said.
Yeah,
But on
I said
those-
professional athletes in general.
But
I
it
mean,
definitely
not
happens.
not specific to him. I'm just saying, as a professional athlete as a whole, they're going to get targeted, and maybe they shouldn't put themselves in that situation.
I bet it's
for sure.
I bet it's 80-20%.
Yeah.
80-20, 80%
Like Luke
it
Walton.
happens, 20%.
Luke Walton. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Walton probably.
It's one of
was
those,
doing
like
some
you
sketchy-
said, regret is
But
not
also, why on earth? Kobe situation, Luke Walton situation, fucking Donald Trump situation.
Donald.
If you're going into a
He's an
hotel
athlete.
room, if you're going into a hotel room, what do you think's gonna fucking happen?
You have to stay. Yeah, you can't put yourself
What
in
do you
positions
think-
for that to even be
An
thought of.
option.
Right.
Okay, so if I know
That's the
if I
mistake.
know for some reason there's a large man that wants to maybe have sex with me.
There is. I can name a couple that.
Okay,
they've
fine.
told- yeah, just so you know.
I'm going to not put myself in that situation where
It's one-on-one.
it's one-on-one. There's a lot of guys in this world. If Brock Lesnar said, hey, man, come back to my hotel room. We're going to have a couple drinks. I might do it just because Brock Lesnar's crazy, but he could manhandle me.
I bet Brock Lesnar has a small penis.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, I don't know, man. You don't get fucking... You seen the size of his hands?
That doesn't matter. I actually just saw
Or
something. It doesn't.
Mythbusters, you watch it?
Statistic, like it just doesn't matter.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, don't put yourself in that situation.
No, I agree,
Don't-
but
I mean,
I
That's
don't
such
know.
a.
Big
I don't want to
Ben's-
get social justice warrior.
Well,
I-
you might because we're going to talk about
Yeah.
Cap. So
I don't. I do feel like a woman should feel comfortable being around. Now, I'm not saying they're making the wrong decision, because if I felt like there was ever a situation as a male, I'm not a female, can't speak for that, gender, whatever genders there are now, but I would never put myself in a situation where I go, this could go wrong, and I don't have a way to get out of it.
I've had
I think it can happen
multiple
It can.
multiple
quick, though. I got to
arguments.
pee real fast.
Multiple arguments with a person that lives at my house about we were watching a college campus rape culture documentary type thing. Okay. So
Okay.
this is my thing. I have a daughter.
What do you teach her?
I'm going to teach her this is not fair. This is going to be a not fair moment in your life where it happens. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. Girls should not. This is not fair in any way. They say, well,
It's
it should be a safe culture for everybody. You are right. You are right. I should be able to black out, and you should be able to black out, and you should not have to worry about it.
Yep.
But that's not the way the world works. That is not the way the world works. It's not okay. And if for some reason, God forbid, something ever happens to Elle, I'm going to kill that person.
Yep.
100%. But I'm also going to have an honest conversation with her that says, how drunk were you? How drunk were you? A lot of these stories all start with, yeah, I was the one girl and there was 5 guys in there drinking and this and that. That's not a safe situation. I'm sorry.
Did you know the
That's-
5 guys?
That's not fair for you to not be able to have fun and drink, but life is not fair. I'm sorry. That's a realistic life thing that's not going to be fair, and men are fucking animals.
Yeah.
We are animals.
I think that any logical person can agree with that. That it's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not. But
And
that-
women shouldn't have to be worried about that. But I'm sorry,
but they are.
You do.
You do have to be
You
worried about
do.
it. And
'Cause
that's what I said. It's
If
not
you
a-
put a girl in a room with the 3 of us, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna walk
Yeah.
out. If you pass out, hey,
Yeah.
where's your phone? Who are you gonna call? Whatever.
Unless
But
you're Jess Alba. I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's not a real life thing to think that it's going to be a fair competition
It's
when
not.
it comes to physical strength.
it's not.
If you're a girl, put yourself in safe situations. And that's not fair sometimes. If you want to go to the party, to the frat party, or to the fraternity party, or whatever you want to go to,
I still think that like
it's
that
not
should be
fair.
Okay.
It should be okay. You're right. You should be able to go into there, have a good time, have some drinks, do your thing. But you should always have your wits about you. Just the same thing as I did. Okay, so if I go to a bar, I'm a bald guy, I look like a white supremacist. Not by choice. I'm fucking bald. If I go to a bar in Louisiana, right?
Guy's gonna look at you
okay,
sideways.
so I walk into the bar and I'm the one white guy in there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep my wits about me. I'm gonna go, I'll have a beer for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna get blacked out to the point where something bad can happen. It's not fair, but be smarter than that. It's just so easy to keep yourself out of situations like that. And now they come back and they go, well, I should be able to do it. I should be able to wear whatever I want. I should be able to drink as much as you do. I should feel safe. You are right. You
agree
should
with-
be.
But
But
John,
there are pieces of shit in this world. And you need to know that. And that's an honest conversation that all those people, nobody should get raped. Nobody should.
Nobody.
Ever. Unless you are a teenage boy and your teacher wants to have sex with you and she's hot, For some reason, we don't have a problem with that.
I say all for it.
For some
All
reason,
for it.
society doesn't have a problem with a younger boy having sex with an older girl. I don't have a problem with it. Do your thing. But older guys,
I would
guys your
say-
age, are monsters.
Bro,
Yeah.
you hit Miss So-and-so?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Nice,
Oh.
dude.
That's
nice.
what I'm saying. That's-
nice.
Put yourself in safe situations. Don't put yourself out there to have the opportunity for something bad to happen. And I have a daughter, and I'm going to have these conversations with her. And I'm going to tell her, have fun. If you're going to have fun, have a lot of people around you.
You know
Make
what's
sure
crazy?
Don't end up that one girl that's like, yeah, Johnny invited me over for drinks, and there was 5 guys, and there was me. And then I woke up. Okay, well, that's not a safe situation to put yourself in. How well do you know Johnny? How well does Dad know Johnny? Because Johnny's about to die. So, I mean,
This
Johnny's about
is,
to meet Dad.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I knew a lot of guys in our list had some
Sketchy past.
rapey qualities to them. I did not expect us to get in that conversation, but
Well-
I agree with
Yeah.
everything you've said.
yeah.
Get, mostly everything you said, but
The Jess Alba thing threw you off.
no, the Just Alba thing.
I'm just kidding.
He liked that.
Just
He
kidding.
liked
I'm
it.
just
you
kidding.
get your one shot, bro.
Does she have to tell me the truth even if she's blacked out?
Hey, the drunk truth
Yeah.
is the sober
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that nobody should get raped. It's not a fair system. Keep your wits about you. Stay strong. Elle, if you're going to listen to this when you're older, Dad's going to have to go to jail for killing somebody if you do something like that. So keep your head on your shoulders.
So
Don't go in Donald Trump's hotel room.
yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hopefully he's dead by then.
One can only hope. Cap, Tebow, Sergio, Kobe, Favre, Reed, Paul Pierce are the only ones we haven't touched on yet.
Well, I think
Paul
Sergio.
Pierce was a given that we all don't like him.
Yeah, Paul Pierce is a
I mean, he's an
dickhead.
asshole.
Yeah,
He's always been that way. He's always going to be that way. They asked him the other day, they were like, MJ or LeBron? He goes, I'm the best player ever. Well, you're delusional.
all right, I'm gonna check that one
Yeah,
off because
you're
fuck
delus-
him.
you're
I'm gonna
delus-
check
He
that
also
3
thinks
times.
that he invented the step back
Okay,
What?
yeah.
He said that?
multiple times.
He invented the step back.
He invented the step back shot.
Okay. I don't know who invented it, but I would say that Dirk has a higher claim to that.
He's a joke. Paul Pierce is a joke.
Paul
like
Pierce
I said
is a
earlier,
fucking joke.
He
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
definition of a clown.
Yeah,
Do
he's
you
a clown.
do you think Paul Pierce right now is trying to like build his claim to be a Hall of Famer?
I
by
think he's a Hall of
propping-
Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
You think he's a Hall of
I
Famer?
think he is a Hall of Famer.
Really?
Yeah, based on merit and.
He's close.
He's
I
got
don't know.
he's got 1 ring, right?
But I mean,
Was-
I think he is.
His teams were terrible before KG and Ray Allen
Yeah.
came in there. They
Yeah.
were literally awful.
Yeah, they were bad.
I don't know if he's a Hall
Terrible.
of Famer, but
Terrible.
I will say this:
If it was a betting man, I'm putting money on he gets in.
No
There's
way.
know crazy Boston people to fucking.
I don't know if he
No.
is or not.
I
But
don't
if,
think he
if he
is.
walks into this bar and says, "Hey, I'll have a beer with you," or I could go home and watch a Game of Thrones episode, I'm going home and watching a Game of Thrones episode.
Fuck yeah, I'll rewatch.
100%, and that's not.
Paul,
I'm not joking.
Paul, I'll sit down with you, guy.
I am not joking. I don't even.
I didn't
want to
hear his
with that
stories
guy.
because I know he's going to say, I locked down LeBron and be like, bro, I'm going to pull this clip up.
Yeah.
You did not lock him down.
Yeah.
He literally,
Okay.
yeah, fuck
We
Paul
could-
Pierce.
Paul
yeah,
Pierce
we
is an
can,
asshole.
yeah, we're done.
I'd sit
We're
him
done.
I'd sit him at the handicap.
I'm not
part
gonna
of
give
the
Paul
bar.
Pierce.
The
There's
short-
be
the short side?
The wheelchair access.
Dude, I feel like Paul Pierce should have been higher because we're all kind of just like, fuck him.
He was
It's
on.
just like
he was on. He
synonymous.
was
I
on
hate
my. He was on my long list.
Unanimous.
He was on my long list. for
Yeah,
sure.
he was on mine too.
Yeah.
I
Brett,
think
Brett Favre was also on my very close to make it list.
Fuck Brett Favre.
Yeah, I don't
dude.
like
I
Brett
want to
Favre
get
at
into
all.
that. I don't think Sergio is really worth talking about because it's obvious. Like
It's
that guy's,
it's unanimous. He's a douchebag.
Cocksucker.
Did
Yeah.
you see what he did in Dubai?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a joke.
He can never
It
play
was
there
one
again.
Of, one of my favorite. I was hoping.
He
Okay,
can never play there again.
countries like that, they don't fuck around.
Nope.
They could have legitimately like,
Imprison
hey
him or
man,
something?
you're going to prison for the rest of your life. Like,
Oh, is your wife here for the tournament?
Yeah.
She's not coming back with
yeah,
you, bro.
that's
They be head searching.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucking banging his putter into
They
the
probably
greens and
stone him
shit because he missed a putt.
with
Get the
golf
fuck out of
balls.
here. He's an asshole.
Favre. I want to know about that.
I don't like Brett Favre at all.
I don't
yeah.
necessarily agree with
He's
that.
the interception champion of the world.
That's why you don't like him. Like,
I don't like the person he is. I don't like. I mean,
why?
He if he would have hung it up, probably 4 years before he did, I wouldn't hate him so much. The Minnesota fucking thing pissed me off. lot of things about him.
Okay, but if you're okay, I understand like the whole idea. You want to hang it up early, but
How about
you could
if
get
you want to
paid
hang it up
mil-
3 times?
if you can get paid millions of dollars,
Dude, the
why
guy
wouldn't
has
you?
so much fucking
I know what you're
money.
trying to do,
It wasn't
Rhino.
about money for him.
Let me take this one.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me take this one. I know you're trying to play devil's advocate right now.
No,
or at
I
least-
actually like Brett Favre.
What?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're the only person I know that likes Brett Favre.
Okay.
Why do you not
Brett,
like Brett
Brett
Favre?
Favre is the ultimate cocksucker
Yeah.
because he did the same back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm retired. No, I'm not. I'm retired. No, I'm not. I'm retired. No, I'm not. And Green Bay finally said, hey, dickhead, you realize we have Aaron Rodgers back here? We don't fucking need you anymore. We were just giving you the benefit of the doubt because you were the only guy. You won 1 ring in 19 years or 16 years, whatever, however long that old fuck played. He would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, intentionally trying to fuck with Aaron Rodgers. He would show up the last day of training camp and say, no, guys, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And the Packers were basically like, okay, we got to do it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's been well documented that it's been very well documented that he would intentionally try to sabotage Rodgers within his own teammates and within the organization. He called Aaron Rodgers gay because Aaron Rodgers didn't want to talk about how big his dick was. You know how ridiculous
I
that
don't
is?
really know anybody that doesn't like Aaron Rodgers either.
And that's
I think he's overrated.
Other than his family, that's
say
crazy.
overrated?
No, all right, let's save that for fucking
Yeah.
another time because I cannot stand for that blasphemy. But
Do you listen to Sports Wars by Wondery?
no,
They have a whole series, so they profile different sports wars, and the first one they did is Favre versus Rodgers. You got to listen to it.
so Favre, and first off, his name isn't even spelled correctly.
Favre.
That stupid fuck. And he would go in there and literally just try to shit talk Aaron Rodgers to the rest of the teammates, and he's like, "Man, he doesn't have the arm strength like me. He throws interceptions," and his teammates are like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You just huck it around everywhere.
Yeah.
You have no will."
That was him. He was the chuck it up guy and
Chuck it
hope
up.
for the best.
He was a
Chuck it up.
gunslinger for sure.
And I literally cannot overemphasize this enough. He did it 3 fucking times to the Packers and Rodgers when the Packers were kind of hands tied behind their back, and eventually they go, "Fuck you, dude. Go to the Jets." So what is his thing? I'm gonna go to the Jets. I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna send a dick pic to this reporter because I guess my biggest thing is,
and
we
your
talk-
issue with that is
he's an egomaniac above anything else. First off, dick pics.
Cam.
No,
You got to love that.
no
A
one
dick
loves
pic?
dick pics. No one likes dick pics.
I feel like Cam likes dick pics.
Sent to him or given him?
If it was JFK, he'd love it.
I would love it. That's history, bro.
That's
I
a
mean-
statue.
That's history.
I mean, the dick pic is the least of my worries.
I don't really
Yeah,
give a shit about a
yeah.
dick pic, but it just shows you the guy's a fucking cocksucker.
Yeah, he is.
I just
I've
like that
never
I think he's
warm
been
spirit.
overrated for so long.
He just wants everything to be about him. The media, is he going to retire? Is he not? Is he going to retire? Is he not? Is he going to retire? Is he not?
It's
And my greatest football moment ever, because I'm a Jaguar fan and we suck, so I don't have anything to build off of, was when the Vikings were playing the Saints. They had the game won. They had the fucking game won. So what does Brett Favre do? Rolls out to the right. Oh, I'm Brett Favre. I'm 20 years old. No, ass face. You're 43. You can't throw this ball over the middle. Picked, gone. Saints win the Super Bowl. Fuck the Vikings. Fuck Brett Favre. Loved it.
Agree.
Fuck him.
I just think he's always been overrated. He was always like the chuck it up and hope for the best guy, and it's like Matthew Stafford can do that. Is he Brett Favre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
He's a poor man's Brett Favre.
yeah, he's just the chuck it up and then
I get that.
and then just hope
Brett
for the
Favre had
best.
his one game where his dad died and he throws 3 touchdowns. Everyone's like,
Monday Night Football
"Oh,
against the Raiders.
Oh shit, dude, he threw 3 touchdowns. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck Brett Favre.
Brett Favre was on
Brett Favre
my
can suck a
yeah.
dick.
Brett Favre was definitely on my
I hate
my longer
Brett Favre
list.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay, well
I
that
can't
answers my
stand
Brett
that
Favre
guy.
questions.
Brett Favre could suck a fat one. We could have got 3 more years of Aaron Rodgers. He ruined that for everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
It's probably better for Aaron the way it worked out.
Fuck him.
So the 3 we have left that are the big dogs are Cope, hate Tebow. Why is Tebow your third most hated athlete on the planet ever, dead or alive.
I like Tebow now better outside of football.
Okay, so
I didn't like him as a Gator. I didn't like him as a Denver Bronco. I didn't like him. I thought he was overrated. He was a great college player. Don't get me wrong. When he came out after he lost that game in college and was literally going, I'm gonna try my hardest to win. Get your fucking shit together.
That's one of the best speeches of all time.
The biggest
Not
pussy
my top
move.
five.
If I was a teammate on that team, I'd be like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, if
This
you're
is
one
the
of
face.
Well,
this
that's
is
not what happened.
well, if you're one of his teammates, you probably go out and kill 3 guys.
yeah, well,
Aaron
yeah,
Hernandez.
yeah.
But
And-
I'm
and
just,
people deal with things.
I just,
people deal with things
and
different
butt
ways.
fuck
just-
a guy.
Yeah.
dude, I just watched
Either way.
Embiid or
Embiid.
Embiid.
I got no problem with the
cry.
guy crying. I got no problem with that.
It's your first chance.
Embiid.
I mean-
It's not Embiid's first chance.
Well, I mean, it's his first real chance with a good team that he could have won a series.
Okay, but why do you hate Tebow? Give me specifics. And I want to hear from you, Tybo, too.
my biggest one is
I think he's
just,
a puss. I think his
Why?
baseball.
though?
I think
mean,
his,
it's easy to say that, but why?
the crying thing. Act
That's-
like you've been there, man. You've never lost a game
That's
before.
not my biggest.
I don't like that.
That's just emotion.
I don't like it.
That doesn't mean he's weak. That doesn't mean he's a pussy.
That's a.
They
pussy.
went out and won every single game. After
They
he
won
gave
every
that
game before that.
speech. No, they didn't. They lost.
They lost that game.
Right,
The
and
guy's
then-
college career was fucking.
It was over.
Well, that's
That just goes to show me he's not a good loser.
that's the formality
He's not
of
good at
college
losing.
football.
He's
so
not
you
good
can't
at.
get
He's
out
not
of
good at losing. Act like you've been there. You see, okay, if Tom Brady loses the Super Bowl, he's gonna go cry.
it. I bet he does.
I bet he does not.
In front of the cameras, no.
I bet he
Right?
doesn't
No,
cry.
I understand that, but I bet he does.
I guarantee
It's
you.
also worth mentioning that Tebow had already won one at that point, so it's not like he missed out on anything.
Yeah, it just seems so fake to me.
Or was that the Chris
seems
Leak
so-
year?
It seems so fake to me.
So that's what you hate. You think he's.
I
Fake.
think he's phony. There's nobody that's that squeaky clean. There's nobody that. Okay, he does a lot now, as far as his foundations, his stuff like that. I'm all for. I think that's a good thing. The baseball thing, whatever. I mean,
That's
give,
lame.
Give it a shot.
That's
it's a
what
fucking,
bothers
It's a
me.
lame move. It's just
That
doing it
bothers
because
me.
you know you're so big and you're such a big name. You're gonna get a chance.
And they'll keep you around longer than they keep around.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to our argument with the guy who's taking steroids and the guy's got to watch guys pass him up. I know personally guys that have played minor league baseball and they go, Tebow can't hold a salt. Like, if he wasn't Tim Tebow, he wouldn't be on the team.
No.
And there are guys that
wouldn't.
are getting sent down
I'm
because of
listening. I'm
his
listening.
recognition. Go ahead, pull up his numbers.
I'm
But
good.
however, that's not my biggest qualm with Tim Tebow. And it's not fair to me because you know what, from everything I've heard, Tim Tebow's a guy that'll meet you, shake your hand, say, hey, what's your name? Rybo? All right, good to meet you, Rybo.
And I'm sure if I
and,
met him,
and then 6 months later, be like, Rybo, what's up, man?
I'm sure if I met him, I'd be like, that's a good dude. But just based on what I've seen on, I can't get into it. I can't get into the whole
I can't
holier than me.
I can't do the Jesus
I
thing.
can't get it. I'm
I can't
fine.
do it.
I'm fine with after the game. You go, thank God, this and that. The whole. It's just too much for me. It's over the top. Nobody is that animated. Nobody is that. Like, it's just not real to me. It's so fake. It's like he's a bad actor.
I do think he cares that much. My 2 biggest things with Tebow are the Jesus thing 24/7. Like, you can love Jesus and I could still hate you.
You can Chris Pratt.
I could
You can use your platform and you can Chris Pratt and you can make us a
Don't
speech
care.
and
Just
you're
'cause
fine.
you love
That's a
Jesus-
one-time thing and you go and you do it. And I mean,
But
it's
let
just
me-
too much for me.
just because you love Jesus doesn't mean I have to like you. Sorry.
No. Just
It-
because
it
you
really
act like a
doesn't.
good guy doesn't mean I have to like
And
you.
I do think he is a good guy. I really do genuinely think he's a good guy. I really do. But I think my biggest problem with Tebow, and probably no fault of his own, and it kind of sucks, is he was shoved down our throat
Yeah.
24/7 like he was the next coming of
Jesus.
Jesus.
And he was terrible in the NFL.
and he
Tebow-
was
Tebow
not
Mania.
good.
He won a
and,
playoff game.
and Tebow Mania was a real thing 6 years ago, 5 years ago, however long it was. But you couldn't have a rational conversation with the person. And go, well, Tebow Tebow took the Broncos to a
The Broncos
playoff
defense.
victory.
The Broncos
He goes,
defense
no,
did.
fuck that, dude. He threw a 12-yard slant that Demarius took to the house, and
Yeah.
the defense held him to sub 20 points.
Yeah.
Tebow didn't do anything. He probably went 8 of, and I'd love to see those numbers, but I'm going totally off
That
of
was
memory.
his
That's
whole NFL career.
5 years ago. I think he probably went 8 of 22 for
I just-
something crazy.
I think he's just-
and I'm probably wrong. I'm probably
think
really
he's just
wrong on
over
that
the top
stat,
for me.
but yeah,
He's
I
too
just-
over the
I don't
top.
like it. I just don't like it. It rubs
I
me
think
the
it's
wrong way.
phony.
I don't like it.
So you think it's phony, but Tybo said that he doesn't.
He could be a good guy.
I don't think it's phony.
And I would like him more if he was just not so over the top with everything.
Okay, but if you listen to Tim Tebow on like College Game Day or something,
No, and I like him on there.
okay, so he is the most.
That's why it's an athlete, not an after athlete.
I understand. Well,
I don't hate him. I don't hate him after the sport. I
No,
like.
but
I
But
mean,
you got to kind of factor that in.
not for me. I strictly on. I mean, the dude's probably a nice guy.
I mean, technically, he's still an athlete. So,
Well, I mean, not in my realm of what I'm looking at.
so baseball doesn't count.
No, well, I'm saying.
I would
what,
say he's an athlete.
No, he's not. I mean,
I don't think
What he does
I don't
off
think
the
he's a
field-
legitimate athlete, but he's an athlete.
what he does.
He's never gonna make
now,
the pros.
Okay, he does a lot for kids. Awesome, man. Do your thing. That's a good thing. That's awesome. But I'm just saying, when he was a college athlete, when he was an NFL athlete, he pissed me off more than anybody at the time. I was tired of fucking hearing about him. I was tired of hearing about how great he was when he was very mediocre.
Yep, that's right.
College, he was awesome.
Okay.
But then he was the next fucking thing since sliced bread. What happened? He was bad in the NFL.
I had never heard. I mean, being an Ohio State fan, I've dealt with quarterbacks ever since I've been alive that are great college quarterbacks and not good NFL quarterbacks. And if you're a legitimate college football fan, like hopefully most ESPN writers should be, which I don't think they are. They're pushing narratives most of the time. I can understand that JT Barrett is no different than Tim Tebow. They're great winners. They're humble guys. They're nice guys. The difference is, I didn't have JT Barrett push down my throat about why he's going to be the next best NFL quarterback when I could clearly see there was numerous deficiencies. Numerous. He couldn't throw a fucking football, dude. He couldn't throw it. They literally redesigned the Denver offense to try to run the run pass not even the run pass option, the read option. It didn't work. It just didn't work. And he was blessed with a great defense that helped them out, but it was just really, for me, the Tebow thing is it was consistently pushed down my throat, and if I didn't like Tebow, I didn't like God, I didn't like good people. It's like, no, I just think the guy sucks. It's not my fucking problem.
So that's a media problem, not a Tebow problem.
And I'm not saying it's fair.
Right. So I'm where do I want to start?
I think our
Tebow
opinions,
rant.
I think we both don't like him,
Yeah.
but our opinions are very different.
So, okay, what I'm going to say, and this, I got a lot of things to say with him, is Tebow's been very consistent as far as the human that he is. It may be over the top, it may be a lot, it may be...
And I don't like that.
But he's been consistent.
That doesn't make me not like that any less.
Okay, but
But let him,
also...
Floyd Mayweather is consistent.
but
He's
also,
consistently a fucking douchebag.
But also, I think the problem is that what Tebow is consistent in is considered by society, the majority of society, as over the top topics. Meaning, he is consistent in his faith,
Okay.
right? That can be construed as
I
over
don't-
the top,
I don't hate him for that.
shoved down your throat, right?
I
He's
dislike it a little
consistent in his like pretty boy, clean image, right? He's that way.
Don't like that. He's banging little kids in hotel rooms.
Okay, so that's your thought. He's consistent in how he is as a leader. I can look at it as this way. Yeah, was he ever a great quarterback? No. He had a great team at Florida, right?
one of the best ever.
And
Right,
so, yeah, can I do a pint of 394, please? Thank you.
Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, in honor of. In the sense, hear me out. In the sense of he just fucking goes for it. Like, he was not a good quarterback. right? But he did
In the NFL.
Yes, but he did galvanize guys to win a playoff game. I know that's not an argument to his greatness.
So did Johnny Manziel.
Hold on, I'm not trying to make that argument at all. I'm just saying, like, there is something electric about Tim Tebow. And to have him as your third most hated athlete, I don't understand it. Like, he's going, you can call the MLB thing as a sideshow or whatever you want to call it, but he hit 273 last year with a little bit of power. And some guys that I've talked to that are in the baseball world say his swing isn't half bad. And he's riding the pine in Double-A. He's taking bus trips. Like, it's not like he's in the big leagues and he is a sideshow just selling tickets. Anywhere he goes, does he sell more tickets? Absolutely, and I get that argument, and it's a legit one. But to say that's the only reason why he is doing it, no. And then if you do listen to him on game day, he is a very... For as hardcore religious as he is, all that stuff, he's a guy's guy. Like, if you listen to him,
He doesn't drink beer.
that doesn't mean he's not a guy's guy, though. Like, to each their own kind of thing. Like, I'm not going to judge him for how he thinks or what he drinks or what he doesn't. Like, I could sit down and have a good conversation with him, and at the end of the day, he's a good guy.
I'm sure you
Everybody
can.
else on these lists, you could argue, are not great guys.
I would sit down with any guy on anybody's list.
Kawhi Leonard would be the
Other
worst
than
guy
Paul
to have
Pierce.
a beer with.
I'd sit down with all of them. I would sit down
I'd
with any
say
of
4
them.
words to you the entire time.
Yeah, I would sit down with any of them,
My point is I don't think
and
that you
I'd probably
can
end
say,
up liking all of them.
you can't
Besides
say
Sergio.
you can't say that Tebow is a bad guy. Thank you.
I didn't say he was a bad guy. I
Oh,
didn't
you
say
hate him.
I don't like him. I don't think he's a. I don't like.
You don't just don't like him, you hate him. He's your third most hated athlete.
Understandable. I would say that some of that probably was not his doing,
Yes,
but that doesn't take away from
and I get that
what
part of
happened
it.
to me.
I do get that
I
part
was
of it.
force-fed bullshit for so long. It was just noise, and it was just annoying.
Well, let me say this.
So he's a nuisance.
I don't-
He's not so much hated.
No, I
Can-
hate him.
all right, so let's take. Can we take the Tim Tebow name out of it? Okay. Do you want to sit and have a beer with a guy who is everything's about Jesus? Just, I'll leave it at that.
You can go to the mall and see the guys with the signs that say you're going to
I
hell.
don't think everything is about Jesus with him.
I think it is,
I think everything's about Jesus with him.
Okay, but okay.
and that's not what I don't like about him.
Let's assume it is.
That's what Tybo didn't like about him.
Right. Okay.
I'm not
so,
mad.
No,
I'm
no,
not
that's
mad
part,
at that.
That's part of it.
Okay, so
I'm not mad about
I'll
that.
talk to you then more directly about this because let's assume it is. Let's assume what you said is correct. Okay. What do you have an issue with specifically about that? Assume it is all about Jesus.
My specific issue with that is I have my own beliefs where I don't really know what's going on in this world from a spiritual aspect. And I don't talk about that in
That's
my
what I was gonna
normal
say.
day-to-day
Yeah.
conversation. But he makes it a point, or I would assume that everything he does makes it a point to make it about Jesus.
Well, that's part of his.
I
that's part of his
okay,
stick.
so-
I don't like
shtick
that.
now.
I don't
Okay,
like
so-
that.
Okay, so let me
Religion is like a dick. Everyone has one. Doesn't mean it needs to be force-fed down my fucking throat.
Wow.
I don't need to hear
I've
that.
never heard that. That's good.
I don't need to hear that.
Okay, so let me.
Just keep it to yourself.
Okay, so let me respond to that.
It's his shtick.
I don't disagree with that. I really don't.
Yeah.
But I think that we all have our own shticks, right? And we all have our own religions. And so a lot of people could look at you, Tybo, and say, sports are your religion. And somebody could walk in and we have a conversation with them and they hate sports. And it's like, this guy force feeds sports down my throat.
But let me interrupt. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
If a guy came in and started talking to Tybo about whatever he wants to talk about, I don't think Tybo turns that conversation towards towards his agenda.
And that's a unique thing with religion with most people. And I've never sat down and had a conversation like that with Tim Tebow. My argument is, I don't understand how a guy like him can be not even top 5, top 3 most hated athlete.
Do you think I'm alone in this, in the world?
No. I know
Like-
that I'm the minority in this.
like-
I know that.
I know why you like him. I can pick out and I can say those are good qualities about him.
I know I'm the minority, by the way.
No, I don't think you are. I think it's probably 50-50. You either love him or you hate him.
I think 70% of people hate him.
I think 5 years ago it's 50-50. It's probably gone more the other way just because he's not in our lives now.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
He's definitely more likable
thankfully.
now.
he's more
Thankfully.
likable now.
Yeah.
I like this. I like listening to him on College Game Day. I think he has a lot of insight that a lot of people probably don't because he's been there.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of the reason why people hate him is because he did have all that fanfare, and he was mediocre at best at what he did. But to me, I look at that and I think, but I get that for sure. I don't want to get away from that point, but I look at that and just say, okay, like he's like that much greater of a human because he's the
That's all
antithesis
subject-
of like Big Ben.
That's subjective.
He's a good dude, great leader, not a great quarterback.
Now
Never
is
was.
it fair to say you can hate a person and personality is not a part of it?
No,
I think when you're
that's-
talking about athletes,
I think
yes.
all of mine are personality.
See, for me,
Because obviously Sergio's won a Masters.
I-
Tebow's won a fucking national championship. Mayweather's the best boxer ever. Kaepernick's the only one that's a
Yeah,
piece of shit. He's never done anything.
No, I get that part. You're never gonna be on that scale if you're
You're not an
Bruce
athlete.
Bowen.
Yeah.
If you're Bruce Bowen,
Yeah.
you're never gonna be on
You're-
that level.
If you're an NBA, MLB, NFL star,
Strict.
you're a fucking freak. You're a freak. You're a freak amongst normal people, for sure. I understand that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the things I don't like about him outweigh what I do like, what I would like about him if I probably sat down with him.
I think your point. I think the best point that you've made, both of you combined in this, is
He's a bad player.
No, because really,
He is a bad
I think
player.
we all understand like the magnitude of life. Like that really, it is what it is, right? It
He's
doesn't-
he's winning in the game of life.
At the end of the day, how many touchdowns you throw doesn't really matter. I think the best point that you've made is that, you know, when we sit down and we all have our own religions, whatever they are, we don't all shove them down other people's throats. And I like to believe, I obviously can't say this is a fact or not, but if I sat down and had a beer, if he were to have one with me, non-alcoholic Heineken, with Tebow, and I was like, hey dude, I'm not interested in religion at all, can we still have a conversation? We'd still have a pretty damn good conversation.
I think you probably would. You're probably right, but it would come up.
It would.
It would
But
come
just,
up.
just so much as Guns might come up with you, or Ohio State football comes up with you, or the Lakers comes up with me. Like, it's just naturally who we are, and just to sit here and judge and like
But
say,
there's some people that have that agenda that's like ingrained. Okay, so this is a great comparison. CrossFit.
Oh, God.
Okay.
yeah, no, that's a good. That's a good,
CrossFit, right?
good example.
Great fucking thing.
Can you go
It's
to
awesome.
CrossFit without not talking
Depending on
about
who you
CrossFit?
talk to. Some people say it's really bad.
No,
for
okay,
you.
well, as
It's
a
better than
general,
doing nothing.
being physically active is good. Do I want to hear about it
Right.
24/7 about the awesome, dude. I'm glad you're doing well. I really am. You know what's awesome for me? Every time I go out and golf and have a good time. Do I come in and tell somebody that doesn't know anything about golf, dude, you should have seen this fucking birdie I got. You should have seen it. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? They have no frame of reference.
No, let me tell
I'm
you.
not shoving anything that I believe down somebody's throat unless they ask for it.
I had
That's
I had a driver 320,
Yeah.
and then I laid up. You know,
Yeah.
We
I
all
was gonna
know
go a
those
little
guys,
left.
though. We all
Oh,
know.
those are the fucking worst.
And I
Those are
love
the
golf,
fucking
and I
worst.
don't want to hear that story.
No,
Unless it's
I
from
love golf. I never want to hear a hole by hole.
No.
From anybody ever.
Unless, I mean,
Ever.
if it's a crazy shot you want to tell me and you about,
Yes,
that can
'cause
relate,
I
and
know
I go,
you
dude, I
understand.
hit a stinger under this fucking tree. It hit
On
the
number
pin.
7 at Red
Yeah, it was
Hawk?
great. Like
oh,
stuff
shit.
like that. If I'm going to walk up to Joe Schmo who doesn't know anything about golf, am I going to shove that down their fucking neck? No.
We all know those guys.
Tim Tebow.
To me, the difference between that and Tebow is Tebow, for the most part, in my mind, I know you guys are going to argue this, doesn't make it about himself. It's
Well, I
about
mean-
what he's doing for other people or other things going on or whatever
Now.
it may be.
Now.
I think he's always been like that.
I mean, I see what you're saying. The leadership stuff, the stuff like that. It's just, there was a list behind him, and he still made it. And I hate Sergio a lot.
Sergio's a punk.
He's a punk bitch.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't wait to talk to Tybo about Cap.
I know it's gonna
I
be.
can't
good.
wait.
I think the Tebow pick is,
Personal.
well, it's. I
Personal.
think it's just.
And
It's
you know me. I believe in God. It's not.
yeah, it's not a God thing.
It's not, for him it is, and for a lot
For
of
him,
people
but
it is.
for
For a
you,
lot
I
of
know
people,
it's
and that's where I can justify saying that I'm not alone on this hill.
That's
know
a
what I'm
very
saying?
God thing for you to say.
I'm not alone. I'm not.
No, and I do get it. I do get why people hate Tebow. I
You know who
definitely
likes
do.
Tebow? Moms.
Hey,
Moms like Tebow.
I love Tebow.
You
I
know who
love
doesn't
Tebow.
like Tom Brady? Moms. You know who doesn't like Tiger Woods? Moms. You
Well-
know who doesn't like winners? Moms.
You know who doesn't like
because they're-
Tiger Woods?
Because they're-
Women.
That's what I just said. I said, you know
Yeah.
who loves Tebow? Moms. They
That's
love him
true.
because they go, I'd love that guy to take my daughter to prom. And if I was sending my daughter to prom with Tebow, I would be happy as shit.
You wouldn't even have to pull out your gun to clean.
I would,
You just
I
know.
would be happy as shit. He's probably a great guy. It doesn't make
He is.
him any less annoying.
I think he is a good guy. But
All right,
yeah.
let's talk about Kobe, and then we'll talk about Cap. Cap
Okay.
will be the cap on the night.
Yeah. Well
let
played.
me tell
Well
you
played.
my Kobe. Okay?
Tell me your Kobe.
I'll tell
Go.
you my Kobe.
Go Kobe.
I'm not a Lakers fan. Never have been. Never will be. I don't.
Well, don't say that.
I don't necessarily root against them because they are an LA team. I understand that. I had a couple years where, I mean, when Gary Payton went there, he was one of my favorite players, but that was a stupid move. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I would like to
I don't like
forget
the
about
Lakers.
that.
Kobe.
Carmelo? You didn't like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Kobe
liked it,
is
but it was just too
Kobe
late.
is hateable. I see that.
Oh, I do too.
I see that he's hateable. The one thing I can't hate about Kobe
Work ethic?
is work ethic and results.
Yep.
Is results.
I want to hear
Okay,
from
really?
Tybo.
we
why
can
he's
go.
your
We can go back.
number
We can go back
one.
into he had Shaq. Okay, a lot of people had fucking other guys too.
He won without Shaq.
Barely.
But he did, I
he
mean,
won. No,
you can't
you
say
can't.
barely.
You can't. This is another one where you can't like. This is where you have to separate. Tybo hates him. I know Tybo loves basketball. He knows basketball. Kobe's going to be not top 5 for Tybo, but he's going to be in his top 10
Players ever?
ever.
He's fringe 10. Yeah.
He's there. He's in the conversation.
Yes.
For me,
1000%.
for me, not a Kobe fan. He's top 5.
Fringe 10?
Yeah. Okay, I understand that.
Your
but
emotions are.
okay,
They're really not.
you cannot be
Really
mad
not.
at Kobe's. I mean, dude, one of the
Max
best,
Kellerman.
one of the best ever clips that you can watch is when pump fakes in his face and Kobe does not bat an eye. That's hard as fuck.
That's hard.
That's badass.
And that's why we had this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
Can you hate a guy and still respect him?
Yes, you can.
1,000%.
I respect Tim Tebow.
Okay, but why is he number one? That's what I want to hear your
Well,
description of why he is number one. Your explanation, rather.
okay. All right.
And I can't wait. I'm gonna sit back and
He's
I'm gonna
hated.
sip
He's
my
hateable.
beer.
He's hateable.
I don't disagree with that, but I want to know from Tybo.
Well-
Like, number one.
It wouldn't be fair if I didn't start it off this way. I'm a Spurs fan.
yeah, that.
Okay.
That definitely has.
Okay. So from 1999 until about 2007, before Kobe totally ransacked the Lakers organization, it was a dogfight every time. And that guy fucked me over time and time again. Now, I'm not saying it's not because he's great. He is great. He's one of the top probably 12, 13 players of all time.
11 to
12
14.
to 13 players.
You've lost
but,
it, bro.
But yeah, that plays a part in my hatred because
Okay,
they-
what else other than that?
he is
Black.
wild.
I knew you were a racist.
His favorite player is Tim
no,
Duncan. and
no.
he
I
is
want to keep it
light-skinned.
serious.
You're the
I wanna
only
keep
guy
it-
with a full black.
I want to keep it serious because
No, he's got five.
Kobe,
Fabric.
and the reason that I hate Kobe so much, and I really shouldn't because I should be happy, is he totally ransacked the Lakers organization. And as a Spurs fan, I'm happy for Kobe. The fact that he's that selfish and just totally takes over a franchise and goes, oh, I scored 81, and that's what every Laker fan remembers. And they go, okay, but he scored 81. It doesn't matter that we didn't win championships from 06 to, or no, oh, shit, 03 to fucking 2009? Is that correct? Is
It's
that
in
correct?
that- It's somewhere around there.
Yeah. So he went 6 years. What were their records in those 6 years? Was he a game-changing player to where he was the guy that would take it to the playoffs every year? The answer, before you even think about it, is no, because he did not do that.
Would you say that's
Okay.
tail end?
Okay. In
Well,
in
yeah, true.
07?
No,
In 07?
okay.
Fuck off.
Okay.
Every Laker fan would be like, oh, dude, he scored 80 or 60 in his last game against the Jazz. Yeah, because he fucking shot 40 times, which was Kobe's MO. And I get it. You had Smush Parker. You had guys that sucked. You also didn't like Andrew Bynum from the get-go. But guess what? He helped you win a championship.
Andrew
so
Bynum
how
was
smart
dominant.
Are you? And Kobe didn't like him.
Can I-
Kobe didn't like him.
can I-
Kobe wanted him to get traded.
I get that.
Kobe threatened to leave to the Clippers because he was so petty. He goes, "Fuck you, Lakers. I'm gonna go to the Clippers," just so they could pay him a little more money. But go ahead.
Can I?
I got more.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna keep
I,
going.
and that's
I'm
why I
gonna
want to
fucking keep
interject
going.
real fast because I know we're gonna have to take this in pieces. But so far, your two arguments are first that he was so good.
No,
That's why you hate
where,
him.
where did that
No,
get
it's-
misconstrued?
Well, no.
That's
it
what
was
you
that
said.
get-
That
he-
he
he
I
dominated.
battled him the
yeah.
same way that Reggie Miller battled
Right, and so he was
the 2 times they
okay.
played the Lakers
And
a
I'm,
year.
I'm admitting that the Spurs organization is one of the best in all of sports. So
Can't be argued.
right.
Yes.
So Kobe battled with you guys. So I'm maybe.
And you know what's crazy?
So
a-
is it fair for me to assume that one of your arguments for not liking him is how great he was?
But that's the funny part.
Is that wrong to? Is
No,
that
no, no,
wrong
no,
to-
no, no. You're not wrong.
But your
what-
other one
what
is
I
how
think is
bad
so,
he was.
The funny
So you're
part.
talking out of two
How
sides
petty
of
he
your
no,
was.
mouth.
no. The
No,
funny,
he was talking about his
no,
record.
no, no.
though.
Let me retort that. The best part about that argument is they could have continued to be dominant, but he's such a fucking prima donna. He ran Shaq out of town, and Shaq goes, "Tell me how my ass tastes, Kobe," and goes wins a ring
before Kobe.
before Kobe and goes, "Fuck you, dude. I don't need you." And guess what the Lakers needed? And granted, the whole Chris Paul thing, it was dirty. That trade
Yeah,
should have
that
gone
was
through.
bull-
So
That
glad
was
it didn't.
Should've gone
I'm
through.
glad it didn't happen though. Now looking back.
Should have gone through. Yeah, and CP3 was my honorable mention.
Yeah, I don't like
But,
him.
however, what did Kobe do after that? I'll wait. A lot of nothing. A lot of nothing until they traded Pau Gasol. Traded for Pau Gasol. And guess what happened?
Lopsided trade.
Oh, wow. It was a lopsided trade for the Lakers.
Yes.
And I know you agree with that.
Yeah, it was a great move.
Lopsided.
A great
Now-
move. I mean, two people had to agree to it, so it happened.
Yeah, I guess Marcus All goes the other way, and years
mean-
later, I get it, I get it, I get it. But you traded fucking Kwame Brown at the time. You traded Kwame Brown for fucking Pau Gasol.
Yeah.
Weak ass trade. And so
a
then
great
you go
trade.
in. So then you go in, and then you still. I'm not taking those other 5-6 years out where he was totally ass and just said fuck Smush Parker, because Kobe was never one. I'm a basketball guy,
He
and
hates Smush.
again, I'm a Spurs fan. I believe in a team is bigger than the individual. And I think that is proven to be correct. You watch the Warriors, say what you want. Those guys move the ball. They understand that pass one good shot up, you'll get a better pass. And then you pass it again, you'll get a great shot. Kobe never subscribed to that philosophy.
he didn't.
He said, give me the ball. I can only score. No one else can do it. I'm the greatest. I'm going to jack it up 40 times a night. And I'm going to get my 40 points. Great, dude. You got 40 points on 12 of 40 shooting and going to the line 20 times. Okay, granted, whatever. After that, they beat the Celtics. They lose to the Celtics. And then they beat the Celtics again, right? Kobe's 5th and final championship. Same as Tim Duncan. What did he do in Game 7? Do you remember?
I don't.
He shit the bed. Guess who saved his ass? Pau Gasol. So don't act like Kobe's the greatest clutch playmaker ever.
I don't.
And I wish I fucking had these numbers, because I gotta hear over and over again, and maybe it's because I live in Southern California, how Kobe is the greatest clutch fucking shot maker ever, when he's not.
I'll take
He's
Derek
not.
Fisher over him.
He's a high volume.
Robert Oyer.
Robert
He's
Ory.
a high
Ray Allen.
volume. He's a high volume
I don't disagree. with
last
that.
minute time.
I don't
clip.
disagree with
So I hate the narrative that Kobe's. He started doing that stupid shit with his fucking teeth. But my point is, Kobe was always the guy. He's gonna get it done, and he's always gonna get it done in game time, clutch situations. Win.
Regular season.
when he scored on Jalen Rose and dropping 81. Congrats, bro. That's a great feat. I'm glad you dropped 81. That is absolutely incredible. And I'm not saying that in a facetious way. That is a monumental, historic performance because he was balling. But guess what? It doesn't make you legendary. It doesn't. You can do all this game time shit. How many MVPs has he won? One. And people will argue, oh, he should have won over
Shaq.
Steve Nash. Who has more Finals MVPs? Was it Shaq or Kobe? It was Shaq.
Yeah.
And if you're a basketball fan, you would know Shaq was the most dominant player on that
Yes.
team.
The most
Not
dominant player,
Kobe.
most
Oh,
dominant
It
player
wasn't
ever.
Kobe. Now, does Shaq win those with the Lakers without Kobe? No. Did Kobe win without Shaq? Fuck no. Fuck no. So Kobe, in my mind, and again, I'm maybe I should attribute this to living where I live and being a Spurs fan, but Kobe has been so overhyped to me year over year. Oh, he gets buckets. He gets buckets. Okay. How many assists does he get a game? Does he make anybody around him better? No. He fights guys in practice. Get it? Michael did the same thing. Michael had great players around him too.
Tony Kukoc.
God, I can't handle the Kobe thing, man. It just fucking pisses me off.
I might be speaking out of, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, Tybo, but it is hard to live in Southern California and listen to Lakers, Dodgers, any sort of Angels, Padres, fill in the blank. They aren't great fans. They're not well-versed fans, I should say.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
They're passionate. Like this is a great example of it. I was listening to multiple people tell me how bad LeBron James was right before he went to the Lakers. And then he gets to the Lakers and they go, he's okay. It's like, no, you can't.
1 year later, what do they say
Yeah,
about
best. He's awesome. He's the best ever. You know, like that. You can't flip flop that heavily.
it? 1 year later, no. My point was, 1 year later, now everyone goes,
He's a piece
oh,
of shit.
LeBron sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, I told you
Yeah,
you couldn't
those
bring a ring to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. You were excited as anybody when LeBron came
Absolutely
there.
are, and you're still excited.
Shit pissed me off, dude.
Okay,
I can't do it.
I will be the first to admit that you look back at the Kobe and Shaq thing, and I wish that they kept Shaq. Got rid of Kobe, got some assets, because you can build around Shaq, because Shaq
The
was
most dominant.
dominant. Like,
Dominant.
if you look at old Shaq film,
Couldn't be
he
stopped.
made
On Orlando,
7-foot human beings look like children,
looked like bowling pins.
like scared children.
Could you imagine if they? Okay, he can't shoot free
So,
throws.
I get
for
that.
sure. Shaq can't.
Hold
Could you
on,
imagine
hold on.
if they
I
called
wanna hear-
all actual fouls that
You
they should have?
couldn't.
You couldn't.
You couldn't.
Why?
It was the same thing with Dwight Howard
Because
to a
it
way
didn't look
lesser.
like it.
Not even
A little bit to LeBron too. I mean,
Yeah,
You
LeBron
can't
gets
call
it too.
fouls. He's so
just-
strong.
He's too big.
he's
So
too
strong.
physically strong where it doesn't
Yeah.
even look like a foul, but
Yeah.
it's a foul.
Oh yeah.
But I wanna hear your
and
point.
I get that. Well, no, I'm not delusional in the fact that Kobe did, and I'm not gonna say he meant to, but inadvertently has wrecked the Lakers franchise, and that's why we've been in disarray for the greater part of 10 years.
I could tell you how
all
he
in all.
inadvertently ruined the franchise.
Well, there's a lot to it, but
when he's 35 years old, signing a 50-year,
He's for sure a
a
sociopath.
2-year,
Okay,
$50 million deal.
but that's a lot of what makes him great too.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying. I'm throwing.
And you wouldn't turn that down.
No.
And I get that he forced his hand. I get that.
But no. I don't want to call you out, but he didn't force her hand. The Lakers gave him the check. They said, we're going to give you 2 years, $48.5 million. They did that.
Right.
When he
This
was
is the last
35 years old.
contract. Right.
35 years old. They didn't force him. I know a lot of guys that have a broad, bigger picture, 30,000 feet up view of what it takes to make a good team. If I take $50 million on the fucking literally tail end of my career after I tore my Achilles, I don't think we're going to have a good team. There's no way the cap makes sense. None of that could happen. Kobe could have easily said, hey, I'm going to be here the rest of my career. Don't worry about it. Give me a 10, 15, whatever it is. And I understand.
How many guys are going to do that though?
I can name a couple that have won championships.
I also
Yeah.
think
Dirk did it, won a
Yeah.
championship. Timmy did it, won a championship. Tom Brady's done it, won a championship. A lot of guys that win championships make those
That
sacrifices.
goes back
but
to
who-
his
but-
personality.
But who?
And that's why I don't like them.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I don't like 'em.
Okay, I see your point, and it's a half valid point in the sense of
half $500,000, half $100 million.
no. Hear me out. Hear me out. If you're talking about the four major sports, right? I would say that the NBA is a game that changes the most frequently. Meaning,
Team by team, you mean?
no, just year by year, the landscape of the league as a whole changes. How things are done.
The Golden State
changes.
Warriors would like a word.
Well, that's what I mean. But that's what I mean is.
Those guys. Okay. Sorry.
I mean, like every 5 years, we see a new NBA.
Yeah, that's just because
We see a
that's
new.
because
That's
guys
true.
are that's because guys are jumping around
Yes.
and making super teams.
The
Yes.
Spurs won 3 championships in 3 different
Because
decades.
no, that's not my point. They evolve. They have a progressive thinking coach, but they still stick to their true
They
values.
have
They
a
do a
super-
great job. They
and
do
they
a
have
great job.
superstar that's willing to take less money.
Well, that
Not
works.
not
then.
Kawhi.
My point is that at that time,
Low blow.
and it was only like, gosh, what I mean, a little less than 10 years ago, give or take, right?
Okay.
That was a totally different NBA than what we see right now. And
Sure.
so Kobe could look at that and
Sure.
say, I look around, even if we acquired some dudes, we still ain't winning because there was so much more parity back then. And Tim Duncan, I agree, is a totally different dude than Kobe. Like to even put them in the same realm
No,
is
they're different
unfair.
human beings.
It's just not fair.
And that goes to my hatred.
They're different players, different humans, everything.
Kobe wanted the celebrity You're Retiring tour, where every arena he went to, they gave him a gift because he was like, I'm done. You're welcome for everything I did for your arena and everything I did. Guess what Tim Duncan does? He
Nothing.
loses a playoff game, which Kobe didn't make the playoffs that year or any of the 4 years previous. And he just goes, hand up. That's it. I retired.
But also,
I don't like the selfish. I think Kobe is a selfish
I think
human
he is.
being.
I think he is too.
I
But
don't
I
dis- I
honestly,
don't disagree
if
with
you
that.
sat back and you legitimately had a beer with Kobe and you said, "Be honest right now, the $48 million, did you think you were going to be as good as you were at 25?" And I bet you he says yes. I bet you he does.
He probably
I bet you
does.
he probably thought
He probably
his
did.
work ethic that he put in, and you can't
Fucking
deny
Achilles injury.
You can't deny that. You can't deny how hard he was able to work.
And I would be.
And he could sit
he-
back and go,
I-
I thought I was going to be able to be as good
He's
as I was.
delusional to some degree. I get that.
I don't want to. Just because I really dislike the guy, doesn't mean I don't respect the shit out of him.
No, I'm
when he
not saying-
tore his
I'm not saying
Achilles,
that.
when he tore his Achilles, he made both free throws after that, and they came out of the game.
Okay, so I was gonna say
I respect that.
earlier. You said something like the first thing I think of when I think of Kobe, and you're in your little rant, which is great. But the first thing that I think of when I think of Kobe is that exactly.
He's a
Tearing his
he's a
Achilles,
gamer,
making
for sure.
2 free throws, walking off the court, gone. And there's
why-
there's interviews of like old trainers for the Lakers that say, and they've said like Kobe played through things where normal people couldn't walk,
Agreed.
and
I
he
agree
and he
with
played
that.
30 minutes.
I'll never
40
forget
minutes.
when he dislocated his finger, and that the longtime trainer for the Lakers, I don't know his name, but I could picture him.
the bald guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the little white goatee. Goes, you ready? Snaps it back. Goes, all right, let's go back in.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did after that, but I'm sure he
That-
probably balled out.
Okay,
and
so
he probably still shot 30 times
So-
when he knew he was hurt.
So what I'm hearing is your number one pick of Kobe is personal, for the most part.
It's
Oh, for
no,
sure.
I mean, it's personal, but it's also I don't agree with the selfishness that
Which is personal.
came with it.
And I get that. I'm never going to be able to persuade you from that. So
I just feel like he was a selfish person.
I don't
I think
disagree with that.
I think his personality says that though.
Yeah.
I don't
He's been
disagree with
he's been that way forever.
And all
he's
the
gonna stay
teams-
that way.
A lot
He
of
is.
teams that I really love and jive with are very
team atmosphere.
team
Yeah.
oriented, not a me,
And there's-
me, me,
and there's-
me, me.
and there's guys that-
Kobe gives me the
Yeah.
me vibe.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
LeBron did that kind of same thing when he did the fucking I'm switching to Miami, had the whole show about himself and stuff like that.
1000%.
And I fall fraction in the Spurs
They're
as far
different.
as the NBA. The Spurs are different.
But why would I like LeBron more than I like Kobe?
No,
LeBron gave me one of
LeBron
my
and Kobe
more.
are different.
When
they're
LeBron,
different. I'm not-
LeBron was always, and LeBron got a lot of shit.
I wasn't comparing the two.
Okay.
I was just saying that move was a Kobe move. It was a look at me move.
That was a look at me.
It was a
move.
look at me move, and I'm
And
not.
he did that
and-
stupid little smirk.
And I'm not saying.
Yep.
And he donated all that money, and he did some good things. But it's still a look at me move.
But he definitely regrets it.
I'm sure he does.
That's his number
Yeah.
one regret. He's
He
been on
said
record
that.
saying that. On the court, in basketball, Kobe's been a look at me guy.
Yes.
LeBron, despite what you want to say about him, other than the fact that he's got a better crunch time, money time,
Shot
shooting
percentage.
percentage.
He's number one, right?
Yes, he's number one. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. But he would always, LeBron used to get shit all the time for, oh, he's passing the ball. Like, yeah, he's double teamed and he
Yeah.
gives the ball to the open
Yeah.
Ray Allen and he just missed. Or Mike Miller or fucking James Jones,
Yeah.
3-point specialist, and they just missed. Kobe would say, fuck that. I'm going to take a fadeaway, double teamed. If we lose, it's on my accord.
Yeah,
Nope,
LeBron,
nope,
LeBron took
it's on
over
me.
my look. LeBron took.
Fuck
This
that.
this is not anything to do with Kobe. LeBron took over my number one spot when his last year with the Cavs. When he basically single-handedly took them to the championship.
That's
I mean,
exactly
literally,
what LeBron said.
literally basic. I mean,
He's done that
by
like-
himself.
He's done that like 2 or 3 times.
When he was younger,
Yeah.
with the Cavs, when he was
Yeah.
young, and then
07.
but this last one, I mean, he's not young. He's fucking not young at all.
He beat the Warriors, not single-handedly, but because Kyrie was
Yeah.
just as
balling.
equally amazing. But LeBron was dropping 40, 15, and
Yeah.
13
He
like it was no problem.
He was D Wade when D Wade took over that game 7 and
Yes.
just fucking
Ball game.
went D Wade.
Dirk
Yeah,
when they
Dirk,
beat
yeah,
him.
when they beat him the
Yeah.
first year. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all right.
Let's get into
enough
Cap.
enough about Kobe.
Kobe, you
I'm
want to
gonna-
come on the podcast? Tyba will stay and talk to you.
I would
I would
like
have-
to talk to Kobe.
I
you,
would-
you have to respect him enough.
I do
to know-
respect him.
I know.
I hope that
but-
doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
I do
There's
respect
a lot
him.
of guys in these lists that we wouldn't sit. Patrick Reed can suck my dick.
Yeah,
I'm not
Patrick
sitting down
Reed,
with his
yeah,
punk
fuck
ass.
Patrick Reed.
Sergio can suck it.
Yeah.
Tebow I'll sit down with. Mayweather I probably wouldn't hold a can.
So
I mean,
why do you hate Kaepernick so much?
I would say,
Um,
no, yeah, I want to hear you too. This is the
I,
crown jewel.
We should have let off with this.
We got probably 10 more minutes
Okay.
to be reasonable.
Okay.
I can't wait. For
I don't
this.
even know where to start with Kaepernick.
Try your best.
I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know Tybo's take on
I-
this, so this is gonna be good for me.
I fundamentally, to my core, disagree with everything that he did. To my core.
Can you elaborate on that so I know where to?
Okay. You're Colin Kaepernick at the time.
Yep.
You have plenty of star power. You have plenty of ways to get your message out. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
You have plenty of ways.
Unlimited avenues.
You don't have to choose that way, which you know is going to piss off that many people. That is
Is there a bigger platform?
there's plenty of platforms he could have chosen.
That's not what I said. Is there a bigger platform?
He could have had a press conference which and said it. He could have done a lot of things. He could have. I mean, he has millions of followers, I would assume.
How many pressers do you listen to for the Niners?
I mean, he has millions of followers, I would assume.
But
No,
those
okay.
are his followers.
Okay. He could have organized something at a police station,
Okay.
and that wouldn't have got as much press. Probably would have.
I don't think it would.
And it didn't have to disrespect anybody.
I don't think there's any bigger platform than an NFL football game. Televised NFL football.
I understand that. But I'm saying,
Game. That's my point. He used the biggest platform he had.
and he had malintent.
So why do you think that?
He definitely did.
In
He
what
knew
regard?
he knew he was going to polarize. He knew exactly what he was going to do. And he knew he was going to disrespect a lot of things a lot of these people live for, died for, and gave him, I get it, they gave him the right to do that. That doesn't make it okay.
It does.
It does not. It does
I
not.
think it does.
You can choose how you want to do things in a respectful way.
So free speech is not free speech.
No, it is. That's what I said. He can be okay. This goes back to if I'm the owner of that team, you're an employee.
Agreed.
If one of my employees chooses to do something like that, I have every right to fire him.
I totally agree.
So for him to throw a fit and say that he's not on a team because of this and this and that, you chose to do that. You chose to die on that hill, and now you're dying on that hill. So live with your shit and stop being a bitch and stop fucking saying that, oh, you're not in the league because you're not in the league because of that. And you shouldn't be in the league because of that.
I agree with you. Then why don't the NFL owners just say that?
Because they can't.
Well,
A couple of them did,
that's
right?
the hypocrisy.
Jerry
of
Jones
it.
did, right?
That's the hypocrisy of it.
Jerry Jones.
That's my problem with it.
They got rid of him off the team
But that's the hypocrisy of it. He's willing to die on that hill.
and let him.
These other owners will not. They don't have the brass to just say we don't want to do it because of his.
It's not their fight though. They didn't choose that fight.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not their fight to if they don't have to say anything. They didn't choose to go out and do that. They didn't choose to go out and go, "Hey guys, we're kneeling today." And I think every owner that said you can't kneel, more power to him.
Do you think he was kneeling against the flag, or against
I think
the discrimination of against African Americans and police violence?
I think his message might have been correct. It might have been.
So
Do I think that he was 100% all in on what he was talking about? No, I don't think he was.
I think he was.
I think he thought he was going to get a lot different response than he got. Little does he know.
I don't know.
The same reason Trump won. There's a lot of people in this country that are not going to fucking stand for that.
And
And you have to know that you're going to fucking piss people off.
Of course. I don't think he was. And granted, I'm not calling Kaepernick's brain, but I would assume that he would know that there would be a lot of people upset about what he was saying.
But also, he thought he was. I guarantee you, if he could go back, he was going, yeah, I'm going to have a good response to this. People are going to get on board.
Probably, maybe initially. I think what he, if I had to guess, and we're all playing a guessing game.
Yeah.
You're playing a guessing game.
Oh, absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
playing a guessing
Yeah.
game. None of us know.
Yeah.
I think that he didn't think that news outlets would spin it like he's hating on the military, because that's not what he was doing, and that's how it kind of got spun, which is unfortunate because that's not what he was trying to do.
But by him
And
doing
that's
that, you
the-
are kind of hating on it.
No, you're not. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I mean,
And
then that's where we're going to differ, because I think there's certain things that you need to respect in this country, and say what you want about the country. You live in the best place on the fucking planet.
I love our country.
You love it.
I love it.
Okay. There's just certain things that you don't do, and I'm all for free speech. I get it.
Except-
I'm the first. No, not accept. I think he should be able to do what what. If you want to do that, do your fucking thing. But you can't come back with a victim mentality after that happens to you.
Now, what I would say to that is,
And he wasn't good.
what do you mean? He took a team to the NFC Championship.
So did Tebow.
No,
Not
he
the
didn't.
NFC Championship,
No.
but he won a playoff game.
A playoff game, wild card.
Hey, we'll take it, man. Jesus, take the win.
I
Well,
mean,
what I'm going to say is,
with one of the best coaches.
my biggest problem with the Kaepernick thing is I totally understand where you're coming from. If you don't agree with the fact that, hey, these guys died for the right for guys to speak, and
I agree with that. I do.
But my biggest issue is the fact that the way the media just took that and spun it.
They should.
Really,
It's disrespectful.
really.
Any way you look at it.
So the media
any
should
way
be
you
able
look
to-
at it, it's disrespectful.
No, but no. I cannot disagree more, dude. I can't believe you believe that. To where the fact that where a guy clearly states what his objective is, and then you spin it into a totally different way. When he literally spoke the words,
It's-
I'm not doing this to be against the military. I am doing this because of how I feel about how, and that, I mean, back then you had a lot of, black people get shot by.
That person any less pissed off at you,
If I go, sorry,
they're gonna still be pissed off. You cut them off. It is what it is.
well, that's a bad person.
'Kay.
If I apologize and say, that's not what I was trying to do, hey, bro,
You've been not
I
good.
wasn't trying to cut you
I don't
off.
think anybody really tries to cut anybody off.
I-
It goes back to my thing.
Cameron, I did that literally a week ago. A guy cut me off. I fucking rolled up right on him. We get up and I go, kind of one of these things. Like,
Yeah.
what's the fucking problem? And he goes, dude, I go, and it's fine. It's cool.
Okay, I understand that. But you were pissed off to start,
Yes.
and you have every right to be.
And once I understood that it wasn't the message that he was trying to send, I was
Nobody
okay
does-
with it.
But you're still going to have that ripple effect, and you know you're going to have that
That's
ripple effect.
unfortunate.
You're
That's
going
unfortunate.
to. You're going to.
And that's unfortunate. That's the part that bums me out. That's not what he was trying to say.
I mean, none of us have been in the military. None of us can relate. But I'm pretty sure if I had been in the military and my friends died or people that I knew died, and he goes, I'm going to kneel on my biggest platform. I'm making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I'm going to disrespect
You keep saying that word.
intentional or unintentionally.
You keep saying
Okay,
disrespect.
Okay, unintentionally disrespect. You can agree with that,
Yes.
right? Unintentionally disrespect what my friends died for. I'm gonna have a huge fucking problem with that.
When you sign up for the military,
I'm not trying to say what he was doing was purposely doing it. I know it wasn't.
No,
He said it wasn't.
that's not where I was going with the game. What I'm saying is, if you are fighting, and every soldier, I don't have the guts to do it, and I'll just straight up say it because I don't think it's whatever. But why would you be upset for a person exercising the literal first thing that we are taught? What's the First Amendment?
This goes
Freedom of speech.
understandable.
So you're gonna be upset
Okay,
about
this goes-
just because it doesn't agree with the way you
This
want
go-
it to be used?
I'm not saying
I don't
that.
like that.
I'm saying
I don't like
I am
that
willing
idea.
to take what I say for however I could tell you something and he takes it completely differently. I'm okay with that. I said it, I did it, and if he's upset about it, that's his right to be upset about it. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody that's pissed off, and everybody that's, the fucking NFL ratings went down because of him. They did.
Not significantly.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, they did.
they
Significantly? No, they didn't.
They were
No, they
all
didn't.
they were all time low for a long time. Maybe not all because of him.
All sports rating have been at
I
an
understand.
all-time low for
I-
because people
I-
are cutting cords. So
I
okay,
understand
we'll,
that,
We'll
but
call
he
it
had
what it is.
he had some sort of impact
Insert
on it.
YouTube TV app.
He had an impact on it,
Hulu,
right?
Live sports.
He definitely had an impact on it. And
I'm
I'm,
sure.
not, and I don't have a problem with that.
I'm sure.
If you don't want to watch because you don't want to watch, fine. I'm still gonna watch. It didn't.
Because I don't care that much.
Yeah. But you can't take away anybody's anger towards feeling something.
Oh,
Just
of
the
course.
same thing when it goes to anything that's going on right now. Okay, a transgender movement, whatever it is, right? They have every right to do whatever the fuck they want. You want to cut your dick off, you want to dress like a girl, dress like a boy, do your thing. I have no problem with that. They do not have a right. The same as they have the right to do it, I have a right, or XYZ has the right to go, that's fucking crazy. You can't take that away from them. So for everyone that was pissed off about it, you can't tell him you're not allowed to be pissed off about it because his message is this.
I'm not saying they don't have same thing, free speech. If you want to
Exactly. That's
if you
what I'm
want to say your free speech is saying I don't want to watch the NFL, okay.
Yeah.
I'll call bullshit in 5 years when you're watching
No,
again.
that's fine.
I'll call bullshit.
That's totally fine.
I'll call bullshit.
But I also think what you said, the owner should have taken a bigger fucking stance and said, we're not doing this. We do the Pledge of or we do the national anthem for a reason.
Yep.
And for him the reason I hate him the most is the way he went about everything. He was a bitch about it. Oh, I'm a victim, I'm this, I'm that. And then he goes on Nike and does are you willing to give up everything? Fuck off, you're a millionaire, making millions of dollars. Get the fuck out of here. I'm
He
not
did give
buying
up.
it.
Not everything. I don't think he gave up
He's
everything.
still a millionaire today.
Sure. Are you telling me that Cody Kessler deserves a job in the NFL more than Colin Kaepernick?
I have no problem. I mean, if he would have
Really?
got back in the league,
How
I would have
he?
understood it.
How would he?
I would have understood
Based
it.
on what you just said.
He's better than Blake Bortles. He's better than
1000%.
fucking a lot of guys. He's better than a lot of people, right? But I also have no problem with him not getting back in.
I agree with that. If you want to die on that hill, you can.
you did.
But that's why I respect him, because he
I
knew
don't
what the
respect-
consequences.
I don't respect him as a human
He
being.
knew what the consequences were.
I don't think he.
But you're
I don't
kind of
think
talking out of two sides of your mouth, because you said earlier that he didn't understand, like, that wasn't his intent, and he didn't
That
understand.
wasn't.
He didn't understand where the media and everyone was going to take it. But you also just said that
How could you?
he knew that he was going to get into this, and that's what he did.
I don't think he knew.
You
I
can't
think- I think if-
you can't wear socks that have pigs dressed up as cops and not
Yes.
know the intent.
That
on.
and that was bad.
So he's
That was a bad
unintelligent.
move.
So he's unintelligent.
he's definitely unintelligent.
No,
mean,
I didn't
well,
say he was unintelligent.
Well, if he didn't
I think
know,
his
like,
girlfriend
if he
had a big
can't-
part of it, too.
If he can't think through the consequences of it, by the way, I love that he has the right to exercise this
That's-
right. I think we all agree on that.
yeah,
yeah.
you should always
But
have the right to say
I'm
whatever
with
you want to
Cam.
say.
Time and place.
I'm with Cam. For him to play the I didn't know card, or why am I not back in the league card, it just proves why you're oppressed.
and he's not oppressed.
What do you
I-
mean
that's
by
my
that? What
point.
do you
He's
mean
not
by
oppressed.
that? Like, proves why you're oppressed. What does that mean?
If you have the victim mentality, and you have the mindset like, oh, I'll just get away with it because I can play that I wasn't intelligent enough to understand where it
I
was
don't think
going.
he wasn't saying he wasn't smart.
I know that's not what he's saying, but that's what your point is against, like, why he was able to do what he did. And
I never said he wasn't smart.
well, you said that he didn't think that it was going to be taken the way that it was taken. And my point, what I'm saying is,
You had to
you
know.
have to be dumb to know that it wouldn't be taken that way.
Okay, I get that point.
And that's my point.
I get that
and
point.
so I'm all for him taking a stand against what he believes in. He has every right to kneel, just as we have every right to stand up and put our hand over our heart.
Mm-hmm.
But don't turn around and play the victim card. Don't turn around and say, oh, I didn't know this is where it was going. Because when you do that, that is the reason why you've been oppressed for decades and decades. And I'm not saying that they are not oppressed. When I say they, I mean African Americans. I mean minorities.
They
I mean
are.
people. And
They are,
I'm not.
yeah.
And
They
I'm not
are.
saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not. But I'm saying that the main reason why they are, they for sure fight an uphill battle more so than we do as middle white America. I
Yeah.
get that.
Why are they more oppressed?
No,
Well, that's a whole nother conversation,
Yeah,
but
that's a lot.
my
that's
point-
why he
my
does
big-
that. He goes,
No, my big point of why they can't get out of it is because they do play the victim card,
"Ooh."
and they do.
that's. I mean, there's definitely that's
I don't know
part
if
of
I'd
it.
agree with that.
There's part of it. There's people that are given raw deals. He's not one of those people.
And that's
Totally
my
agree.
point.
He's not
That's
one of
my
those
point with
people.
him.
he's not.
To-
But he's
to
one
say-
of those guys that's.
Let me clarify, because I can understand what I just said could be misconstrued. I'm not sitting here saying, we all start at the same place,
don't.
and that's,
We don't.
no matter what you do, if you work hard, you'll get this, get that.
You
all
won't.
bullshit.
That's
You
bullshit.
won't.
It's all
I
bullshit.
understand that I started at way higher a position
You
than
shot
most
a
people.
you shot a layup, and those people are starting shooting full court shot.
Totally get that. And the part with Cap that I don't like is that he's not one of those guys. And so I wish that he would just
And
have represented
Now-
his cause better.
Now I know we're rolling up late, but that's crazy to me to hear you guys say that no matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter. After what we just talked about last week,
I said that. I said that. Oh no. Okay.
I didn't say that specifically.
No. I see what you're saying.
It doesn't change where you start.
Yeah. It doesn't change where you start.
So no matter how hard I work, it may not matter.
I didn't say that.
No, I don't think that's completely true.
Okay.
I don't think that's completely true
maybe I
because
misunderstood.
there are people that get out, and those are outliers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outlier. And they're outliers.
They're
outliers.
outliers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Rap, trap,
I'm the first
make
person to
buckets.
say that people are given raw fucking deals.
Absolutely.
100%, dude. I mean,
And most of them are
and
minorities.
it's not that fucking far from here.
So is it that
mean-
crazy that we're a guy that maybe wasn't put in that situation speaks up for guys that are?
And that's what
No,
that's what I was.
I
Just,
think it's great.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think his message was good. I think it was. Do I think? I mean, obviously, the way have that be your message. Why? I know why he chose it. I know why he did. Biggest platform. I get it. But why do it that way? Like, that's just stupid.
If he went about it in an intelligent way, it could have been one of the most powerful movements ever.
Why does it? I just don't understand why it is unintelligent. I don't know another way to do it.
No,
We're-
there's definitely other ways.
Come
to
on,
do
How?
it.
you're a
How?
smart guy.
No, but how? We're all
I mean,
smart guys. Tell me how.
Any, dude, that's what I was saying. He has millions and millions of followers.
Take a knee on the first
don't take,
snap.
No,
don't
don't take a knee.
Don't take a knee.
No, just take a knee on the first snap.
Do it outside of football. You have a big enough platform where you can do it outside
It'll
of football.
never be bigger than when millions of people are viewing you.
He could have got millions of people viewing him.
So here's
Never
a,
the
here-
same amount as the NFL.
Here's
man.
a good example. After he did after he kneeled initially, I think it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks later, Jerry Jones came out with the whole Cowboys team, arm in arm, and they kneeled like right before the national anthem, and then they all stood up with their hand over their heart. Is it as much shock value? No, and I understand your point to that, but
It's not even close.
like what was his goal? Was it just shock value, or is it to actually unite people and get something done?
you had to know it was going to be
I
polarizing.
think it was awareness.
But then he accomplished it, and good for him. And I'm not going to
I
knock
think it-
that
I
because
think it was awareness.
people die for that freedom, and I think it's great.
No, I don't have I don't have
Yeah.
a problem with the message at all.
And
I have a
I know
problem
you
with the
don't.
approach.
I know you don't.
I think the approach
But
is
if his approach-
I think the approach is disrespectful.
But if his approach is
Even
shock value,
like I said, even if it wasn't intended to be, and even if he had the best intentions to go, dude, I think this is bullshit. I think it's wrong, and but you're not that stupid.
If it-
But
But if his
there's
goal
also
is-
multiple military guys, and I
yeah,
say
they have come out and
multiple-
said, I fought for the right for him to do that. And I
Yeah.
understand that.
So
but
what-
how many, would you say that's a
a
percentage?
majority.
No.
No. Is it a majority?
No.
No. I would not stand here and say that.
I think
But-
even if, okay, so say he does it, and he goes, you know what? This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Instead of going the victim route, because we do reward victims in this country. We are a victim-happy people. Look at fucking anybody who's ever victim. They want to go jump on them and, instantly, without any checks or balances, go, that person is right. Same thing with anything, a rape charge or whatever it is. Automatically, the person who's the victim is right. He played that card thinking it was going to work.
I don't. I guess I know we got to wrap it up, but I don't think he played the victim card
Oh, he did.
initially. I think that once the narrative got spun to where it was he hates the military, that's when it went sideways. No one listened. If you ask, I guarantee if you asked in a full bar, does Colin Kaepernick hate the military? 90% of people would say yes.
In this
Yeah.
town, yeah.
And that's not the point. And they missed the point, even though he clearly told his point. And that's my problem with it. People are so dug into their tropes. They go, flag, kneel, you're supposed to stand. He's disrespecting the military. He goes, no, that's not what I'm trying to do, guys. It's not what I'm trying to do. But guess what? They watch the news, they watch this, they watch that, and they go, disrespecting the military. That's not what he's doing.
But this goes back to the fact that
That's not what he's doing.
he had to know that's what was going to be construed.
Yes.
You have to.
You have to know it's a possibility.
Th-
1,000%.
Not a possibility. It's
A
going to happen.
probability.
It's going to
A
happen.
high
You are
probability.
going to piss off a lot of people, and if that was your little stick, and that's what you wanted to do, congratulations, you pissed off a lot of people.
But what did you accomplish?
I mean, are cops still killing people? Probably.
Black
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I mean, they
That's
kill.
what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
and
yeah.
I understand that. That's not a bad thing to stand up for, but right time, right place. Choose your
and
battles wisely, and
Just, I would ask, in that time, things were bad. I'm not saying cops are fucking black people killers.
No.
No one, hopefully no one with a rational mind thinks that. No one, I pray to God no one thinks that.
Yeah.
But that was a very volatile time.
It's just as
And
volatile
that's-
now, though.
No, I don't think
With
Black
Trump?
Lives Matter.
It's just the media.
That was, and that's the thing. The media took that, and
And
granted,
he had to know it was
knew-
going to happen.
and I can't disagree
Yeah,
with that.
you
I
had to
can't
know what you
disagree
were
with that.
doing. You knew exactly what you were doing, and
Now, if a team doesn't want to take a flyer on them, like Jacksonville, heavy military town. I'm a Jaguar fan. I know the Jaguars would never sign that guy.
No.
Because there's no chance. There's no chance. San Antonio, if they had a football team, I mean, huge military town, never going to happen.
Cowboys.
And if that team, Cowboys,
He had a
never
deal.
gonna happen.
He had a deal, and his girlfriend fucked it up.
He needs to go to the Giants.
He had a Ravens deal.
Should.
Ray
They
Lewis.
passed on Dwayne Haskins. Dumbasses.
They were talking about he had a deal, and his girlfriend went on and wrote all that crazy shit, and they were like, "Oh yeah, remember when we were gonna take your boyfriend? Now we're not."
Don't
Yeah.
blame him.
Yeah, it didn't bother Miko Grimes and
I
Brent
feel like
Grimes.
I feel like we might revisit this Kaepernick thing
Yeah.
before the death
That
of this
was good, man.
podcast.
We should have let off with that. That was
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
We probably
All right,
should have.
next week, we don't have a topic yet, but send them in.
Yeah, we might have a guest next week.
I hope it's Colin Kaepernick.
Can you imagine?
All right.
All right,
All
boys. Later, fuckers.